as a force to ensure that this kind of a thing doesn't continue, because I know the next batch of release of this CVR registration will even be worse than what we are currently seeing, and it will continue to go on and on. I will continue to say and maintain and agree with what Mindset has continued to say, that this man cannot be stopped if we continue in this particular trajectory that we're moving. Thank you, and over from me.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Deji, is there anything you wanted to add based on what Mr. Ikedia said?
No.
Thank you, sir. Let me quickly read out what some of the individuals are saying on the comment section. I think this comes from Mr. Isaac. Isaac said, Mindset, Osun State massive turnout is not about rigging. There is massive voter education as we speak. It is by the action of the governor. Forget all this rigging talk. Governors are watering the grassroots. You know, they give CC. My dear, I don't even have anything to give to anybody. I'm not contesting for anything. But thank you very much, Mr. Isaac, for your wonderful submission. I think that's continuous. Sanitation of voters is going on in Osun. Nothing like rigging. I beg, ear they pen me. So, I mean, sorry, sir. If your ear is paining you, I think you might need to go and see a doctor. But as it sounds right now, the conversation will continue. But thank you for your wonderful submission as we pass the mic to Real Valdez.
Sorry, go ahead. I actually disagree with Egma Isaac, because yes, you can argue that governors have been doing massive mobilization, but I mean 393,000 in 1 week. Please. No. No, is that kind of mobilization is magic. Is magic. Anyway, yeah.
All right.
Please go.
Oh, we do. I think it's Joe, right?
Yeah, Joe.
All right, Joe. Good morning. You have the mic, sir.
All right. Thank you very much.
I thought you called me.
Joe came before you, sir. Joe, please go.
All right. Thank you, Deji. And myself, good morning, and it's nice to be here again. And to continue from where we left off the last time when we discussed this topic the first time. And now, I'm still wondering what the essence of the ADC is in the first place. Right. Before I get to that, let me speak on INEC and their data. As I've said, and as you also said from the last space we had on it, well, it's clear that this is not adding up. And we cannot say, just like they just read out the number from Osun State, State and Co. It is not possible. There's no one that can tell me that it is possible within 1 week to have this number in Osun State, even in Lagos State, then in Ogun State, then we are having that miserable number, from other states. Look at Anambra that you finally, like you read out 42,000 or so, like you read recently, Mindset. Look at what we have in Kano, Katsina. Look at what we have in all these states. What is the record? What is the past record of these states in the past, in the previous election before now? So what has changed between now and then, apart from the misgovernance that we are all experiencing nationwide? What has really changed? What is the mobilization those governors are doing to produce this number that other states are not doing? That is only in this state in Southwest, where Tinubu comes from, that are doing it, that others are not doing. You cannot prove that to me. And it is annoying to see that the opposition are not doing anything about it. If you ask me, I agree with you completely, Mindset. They are not doing anything about it. Because what is, the article, Peter Obi, Amechi and Co, they are not doing anything about it, and there's a lot they can do about it. It is clear. This thing is being test run. We are having it at the pre-registration stage just to test the response that will come from the opposition. They accept it just like the way you do it, very, uninspiring way. In 2023, if you do it the same way now, we are going to get the results that you should expect. Right? At this point, you should expect the result that you got in 2023. You get the same thing. They are already doing it at this early stage just to test you. If it wasn't for test, they would have hidden it. This is the agenda. This is the tactics. They would have hidden it. Wait till the final election, then unleash it. Or they've shown it to you. You say, okay, we are going to do this. Okay, let's see if it will work. So we can now adopt it. Then they are showing it to you at the state that is not somehow important as the final stage or the final stage with this election day. So they are showing it to you early enough. we are this like a car, not doing anything about it. We are just making tweets, making video, making post, and the conversation being dominated on social media. It's nothing. It's just nothing, so to say. Then, so if you are not doing that, if this is a reaction and this is what you are doing, it means you are not actually inspiring anyone to commit to what they committed to in 2023. If somebody asks me, I know what I also did. I've said this a couple of times in this place. So if you are those nonchalant about this thing that's showing it didn't show to you early enough and not doing anything about it, it's as good as not risking it all as we did in 2023, right? So I think AY said something which I agree with about the interest of this opposition, of these people that form this new ADC. Okay, if they should now come out individually and speak so assertively about these things, it is we, the opposition, the supporters from each camp, we say that it is because of the interest, because of this, that, and things that. But we can, the advantage of that and the disadvantage of not speaking, which one is more? I think we can risk it all and speak up. This thing, that is on a personal note interest. This is about national indignation. Speak up first. Then let's see who's going to say it is your interest. Then also be it. Everybody has interest now. We all have our interest. Maybe they have their interest. They are showing it via INEC and co. So if you are still going to be saying, as long as I'm agree with you on AY, I agree with you on that. But we cannot, because of that, and not keep quiet, because the disadvantage is going to be more than the advantages of not speaking. So if you want to not speak up, and I think Mr. Gege made some point earlier on about not working with some people because they are the one that formed APC in the first place. Yeah, of course, I reckon with that, but we can overlook that, because at this point, this is too much. You cannot take it. This is too much. Okay, if you have a company now and we have an employee who is very good at his or her job, he brings in customers or makes the money for you, and all of a sudden he makes a very fatal mistake that to some extent is the only one that can correct it. Then would you give the person the opportunity to correct him herself, or fire him and bring another person who might not be able to correct it? So to say, I'm saying, if Erufai, Amechi and co, they know these people, they know what they did to bring these people to power, and they are also saying that, okay, we are ready to work to give them out, give them a chance to let them do it. Instead of saying that, okay, because they bring them, why are we not working with them? Work with them. If they say they want to bring them, we are not saying, okay, hand over the power to them. They know how to play this game. They're the one that know what they did to bring ADC to power. And they're saying they are ready to work as an opposition to kick them out, give them the chance to do it. Instead of saying, we won't work with them. If you don't work with them. So, we are stuck with this APC. And if that's what you want, then hey, okay, let's just go ahead. Me, I don't want that. So, and like I said earlier, ADC as a party is not really showing seriousness to me, right? I'm a registered member of the ADC, right? But right now, they are disappointing. Even from the comment I read yesterday on the Twitter handle by Bolaji, saying that if Atiku, Peter Obi, Amechi do not come to a consensus the first time, we will have a primary. What's that? It's so irritating. I don't like that. If I drop my own opinion there also. I don't like, what is the meaning of that? What is the essence of forming the edition in the first place? So if you are saying that, okay, these people have their own interest, right? They came here, okay, so let's form coalition. We are now relying on them to say, okay, I'm letting you go. Okay, you can't come together, have a consensus. Or if you don't have, we're having a primary. So, okay, if you have the primary, what will happen? Who do you think will emerge in the primary? Who do you think will happen? What is the fear being exercised by some people in this primary discussion? So we are now saying that means you are not really, your leadership is not really focused. You don't even know what you want. If I may put it that way. I think that's what you're saying, that these people should come to a consensus. How consensus, or you have a primary or not that? It is lack of leadership, if you ask me, and I do not agree with that. So you cannot just be playing this nonchalant with these people. These people will know what they are doing, know what the APC are doing, we know what they are offering. We are experiencing what they are offering. You have all the arsenal to attack these people, right? In terms of playing the opposition. We are just there from individual opposition to collective as a party. We are just there doing what it is not inspiring. It's not inspiring, seriously, I must say. So I just came up to make that point as to what I guess earlier on, and also agree to AY at some point, to some extent, and the fact that the opposition can still play their point without minding what people say that it is because of their interest. Let's forget all that. Of course, we all have interest. That's why we are here in the first place. But the larger interest of the nation is at stake here. So let's speak up and let go. If we now have comments like that saying that it's the opposition, so let's now deal with it later. But speak up first, right? We are not doing anything about it. INEC is obviously being controlled by APC, and we are seeing the result. It is impossible to have that number from Osun State, to have what we have Southwest collectively. I've been having what we're having in the Southeast, North Central, Northeast, the other part of the country. It is impossible. So yeah, showing early sign early enough. It is also, advisable and wise to speak up early enough before it is too late. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Um, I'm not sure if mindset is there.
I'm here, sir. I'm
Okay,
here.
sorry,
Thank you.
sorry.
Thank you. Sorry, if you wanted to respond to him, please go ahead, sir.
No, I was actually going to respond to you that you had asked, why the ADC and the opposition had not, as a matter of urgency, gone to TV stations to, to speak about these issues. Also cast your mind back that the ADC released a statement yesterday on this matter, and interestingly, Bolaji Abdullah was actually on TV this morning around 7:30 a.m. But throughout the entire 18 to 20 minutes he was on that program, not a single mention of this INEC matter came up. Just wanted to point that out. Go on.
Thank you very much, David. Hence, nobody knew about it. Nobody was talking about it. So when someone like yourself or other
I think
speakers
that's
who
the
would
problem. I can't hear my side. Is he speaking? Or is it just for my end? I can't hear him.
Okay, Joe, please drop and come back.
Okay.
all right, am I still audible? Can anyone
Yeah,
hear me?
yeah, you are. Go
All
on.
right, so I do apologize if anybody wasn't able to catch what I was saying. That's the thing. Someone like yourself and every other speaker, some of the speakers have said on this platform, these guys are not serious. You have the opportunity to go on national TV. The most important thing that I believe that they should be discussing, they're not discussing it. But because of time, please, the next speaker, let's be very mindful of time. Let me quickly read out what some of the individuals who are not opportune to be on the comment section are saying before I pass the mic to River Best. But let me quickly, Brandon, I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. I do apologize. He said, I is fraudulent. There is no wasting time on that. What do you want the opposition to do? What we need to do is ensure mass turnout on election day. That's the only way INEC uselessness can be countered. I disagree with you, sir, but thank you for your comment. I totally disagree with you. Now, if you're going to turn out on election day and you're not going to do anything about the numbers, coming out from all these states. I mean, a state like Kano State has 10,000 800 and something. Please, did you correct me with the right figure? I don't want someone to misquote me. About 10,000 individuals. And a state like Osun State has 393 or
Yes.
392,000, right?
Yes.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So now you want those in Kano State with their 10,000 people who INEC have said registered will come up on that day. How are they going to counter, even if all 10,000 of them decided to come up on election day, right? And then half of the 300,000 people, which is going to be 150,000 if my mic is right. That's still no chance. So this is the argument here. You want people to come out, but you don't want to tackle the problem. This is the biggest problem. And then you will go back to Croc and ask him who is the most popular candidate. And then that is the biggest problem you guys have. You can come out in mass that day, but the number INEC have is, they are the people that will register. They are the people that register. They are the people that will vote. But thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful submission. As I pass the mic to Riverbest, you have the mic, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're spacing from. Mindset, thank you so much, and Deji, thank you for actually giving me. Deji, it's like you've become a monitoring spirit to me. Anyways, I just want to say something. Good morning, everyone here. I want to say something. What I want to say, just very brief. I've just realized that most times when we speak, although I was not here when this space started, so I might not know every other thing that has been said. But I think the point I want to make is that when I had a mindset saying that, oh, Tinubu is going to win the election and not the rest of them. He has his cars already. One thing that is very certain is that as the sitting governments, they have advantage over and above every other person that want to contest this election. That one is a given, because and again, when you look at the way politics is done in Nigeria, where the party in government control every structure or every institution in government, like in this case INEC, judiciary, and every other thing, they control it. There is little or nothing that the opposition can do in that kind of circumstances. And that's why I continue to say that the only people who can actually challenge this government is the peoples of this country. When we look at the candidates, like whether Atiku Abubakar or Peter Obi or Show any other person, individual, there is little or nothing they can do to actually upset this government. The only people that can unseat this government is the peoples of this country. And until we come together and realize that the power lies in the people, not on the individual candidates, then we cannot remove this government. Somebody said in Osun State, I'm in Osun State, as I speak now, I'm in Osun State. Let that person tell me that part of Osun State that have that urgency to actually register the number of people that we are seeing that I will go there. If the person tell me that place, that part of Osun State, I will go there today and make a video and see the people actually, lining up to register for them to have the kind of registration. I'm in Ife right now. I speak. I'm in Ife, and if there's any place where something should be actually maybe surging of people coming to register, it should be Ife, Oshobo, maybe Ilesha, some of these big cities in Osun State. So I can go there and verify myself. There is not such thing happening in Osun State. So I'm in Osun State. That one is that one. But again, it's the peoples of this, and it's the narrative matters. Yes, there might be something that the candidates are not doing right. It is us, the peoples of this country that will say, let us raise alarm, let us do so. Because at the end of the day, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually continue, if this government continues, it's not going to affect the candidate, it's going to affect the people. Short, all these people contesting, whether even Showore is an elite, Peter Obi is an elite, Atiku Abubakar is an elite, all of them contesting, they're elite. It's not going to affect the people, is going to affect so much. It's going to be the peoples of this country. There is something that happened. I follow American politics so much. There is something in 2020 election in America. The Republicans or Donald Trump felt that the election was rigged, and people rioted and all the rest of them. They were imprisoned. When they were put in prison, some of them lost their livelihood. They were tortured and all the rest of them. None of them said, "Oh, Donald Trump should have visited them in prison. Oh, Donald Trump is not doing anything." When the next election came, all of them, those ones who were not in prison, all of them came out. They did everything. They canvassed and did everything until Donald Trump was elected. Now Donald Trump has actually, given them all those people. They've given them pardon because that was what he's in position to do at that moment. But if it's in Nigeria, they will say, "Oh, because he did not visit us in prison, therefore, oh, your children did not come to prison. Oh, your wife did not cook food for us in prison. We suffered for you." And this is how we actually derail the effort we are supposed to make. If Nigerians can recognize that we have a problem in this country and say, let us come together, even when the opposition is not doing, what can we do? It's not, oh, they are not doing it. What can we, as Nigerian people, as peoples of this country, it's good enough that we are opening spaces. And I thank you, mindset, you've always been doing this, sensitizing people, creating awareness and all the rest of them. But we should do more. We should realize that this battle is our battle. It's not Peter Obi, it's not Atiku. They are those people are just, we are fronting them. They are just the face of the movement. But the peoples of this country owe it as a duty. We owe it as a duty to come out and oppose everywhere we see fit. If it's INEC, if it's judiciary, if it's police, if it's not mass action, the only thing that can, like you continue to say, Tinubu, nobody. And one thing about this country, I've realized that we give unnecessary, hype to criminals. It's just like people say, "Oh, Tinubu is the bigger political strategy." It's not bigger political strategy. It's a thief. Somebody who rigged election is not a strategy. It's stealing. It's corruption, and we should call it out for what it is. If it's a big political strategy, he would have actually devised a better way to govern this country when he had the opportunity to govern. He would have devised a better way to improve the economy. Everybody have seen now that this man have nothing in his template. No, there is no blueprint. There is no policy. Even before he came into office, there is no policy. He just trials and error. But what he has actually been able to do is, while he was in Lagos, he captured Lagos, used Lagos money to make sure he buys over everything. And now in Nigeria, he has used our state institution to actually make sure that he impoverished this country. So it is the people of this country that wake up And in everywhere where things has actually turned for good, it is the peoples of those countries that will rise up, and that is why countries protest. That is why there are revolutions in countries. There is nothing, there is no, even people who are saying, oh, Atiku, if you vote Atiku, no, Atiku contested in 2019. In short, in 2019, he had the best chance. It was said PDP won the election in 2019. What did Atiku do? Atiku went to court. In 2023, they said he came second. He went to court. He did not mobilize people in the north to come and riot. He did not do any of those things. So for those people who say, oh, Atiku will be able to fight up, he's not going to fight anything. It is these the peoples of this country that can. And I continue to say it until we leave our sentiment and all the rest of them. Me, I support P2B. Some other person support. Even P2B is not a perfect person, and nobody is. Nobody is bringing P2B because we know that he has everything. No. He's a human being. He's just like every other human being like us. He had advantage. He has money. He has business. And all. Oh, he's flying a flag of a political party. But it is the peoples of this country. If we don't come together in unity and say we must oppose this government, whether P2B is doing what we must oppose this government. This government will not change. I think. Let me not hold the mic for too long. Thank you so much.
All right, Deji, before I respond to Riverbest, do you want to you have a question, sir?
Yeah, I disagree with Relay a bit. I disagree to the extent that Nigerians, we regular folks, people who barely even care about politics, people who don't even know one of anything, who are probably even disconnected with what is going on. We are the ones that ought to then come united and start fighting APC. The people who would actually benefit the most from this our clamor, if we ever did anything, are quiet. No, I disagree. Miss Mindset, please go.
All right, thank you very much, Deji, for your response. And thank you very much, Riverbest, for your wonderful submission. Not to cite Deji as my co-host, but I disagree with some of the things that you said, and I'm going to speak on some issues that I personally I would have loved not to speak on, because this idea that people are fronting Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be this and that, my position has not changed, and I'll continue to say it until I see something that will make me feel okay. You guys are doing something right. When I say you guys, those that call themselves the opposition. Now, if there is an election tomorrow, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will flog Peter Obi. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will flog Atiku Abubakar. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will flog Kwan Kwaso. And if you bring every one of them together, if the election was to be held tomorrow, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win. I do not owe anybody any apology to make. It's not about sentiment. It's about reality, my reality. And until we realize the truth about these things, and we will continue to push the button to the people of this country. Now, you mentioned America. Those that live in America, I do not live in America, please, but I visit, once in a while I visit, right? Prior to the 2020, gosh, old age, the 2024 election, there's something that happened during 2020 election. That's something that happened. Trump felt that, and his people felt that they were rigged in Georgia, they were rigged in Pennsylvania, they were rigged in all these places. What thing Trump did for every opportunity that he had to speak, as the person that contested that election, he wasn't waiting on the people alone. He was speaking out, and he keeps, hammering into those that care to listen. We will not allow what transpired in Pennsylvania to happen again. That was Donald Trump speaking. Please, somebody needs to correct me if I'm wrong. Those that live in America, or those that follow that election. But there's another thing that they did that is very important, because this whole thing that the people should come and do this, no, you've got to have the right people. If you don't have the right people, you're not going anywhere. You can't just have people who are interested in likes and retweet and, around you, and you think you're going to make a difference. It's not going to happen. You're going to face reality. Trump did something. There was this young guy, and Deji, you're going to help me with this. Go and search for him. I forgot his name. I always forget his name. He's from, he focused mainly on Pennsylvania, right? And what he did in Pennsylvania made a lot of difference in Pennsylvania. He went to the Amish community, and he's tried to register all those Amish individuals. Deji, do you know this story? Or anybody can corroborate what I'm saying? If I don't want it to be hearsay story.
I know the guy. I know the.
Yeah, so that's what he did. To register those in the Amish community in Pennsylvania. What have the opposition done? Rivers, I'm putting it to you. What have you guys done? Absolutely nothing. What you guys were interested in is doing your, I hope this will hurt you, but this is my reality. right? What have you guys done? Instead of looking at the areas that you've lost elections, to focus and say, okay, guys, how many people in this polling unit voted for us? Can we find out how many people voted? No, you weren't interested in that. You are interested in doing your ID card. Are you going to vote with your ID card? Absolutely not. This is the reality. You're going to face reality. You're getting obedient ID card. What would that do to you as a person that is an obedient? And you're here saying, oh, people are saying Bola Tinubu will win. He is going to flog each and every one of them. It is not my responsibility. Peter Obi says he wants to be president. It is responsibility to lead. He, as he stands right now, he has shown that he's not willing to lead. Is that my problem? Atiku Abubakar showed that he's not ready to lead. You guys are running, worrying about this whole thing, and nobody wants to tell the truth. And you know me very well. I don't care whose horse is go. That is the reality. You talk about, we know that Tinubu is going to win this election because he's the incumbent. Let me go back to what I don't want to speak about. In Edo State election, PDP were the incumbent. Personally, I spoke to those who were in the PDP, and I spoke to those who are in, what's the other party? Deji, please, old age, Labour Party. And I did reach out to these guys. I said, guys, you guys should find a way to work together. But no, you're not going to have it because you have 20,000 likes on Twitter. You have 50 million impressions on Twitter. You do your polling on Twitter. I said, guys, if there is an election tomorrow, APC will win. Some of you guys, we are offended by it. If you don't do this, don't do this, mindset becomes, there was all kinds of names that was, I was called every names. People should know if they're interested in him. People should follow him. People should all this nonsense. At the end of the day, whether you want to argue that APC reached the election, my question to you, Riverbest, is who is the governor of Edo State? Is he not APC? Who was the incumbent? Was he not PDP? When you guys realize that you're not ready for this, and we're going to have this conversation, and I wish this is hard talk because I would have gone hard on these things that people come up here, Nigerians should come up. I am not here to work for Peter Obi. No, it's not my responsibility. It's his responsibility to lead. If he's not ready to lead, he should get out. It's that simple. Let's stop this nonsense. You think I'm going to stay here and do hashtag for Atiku Abubakar or any other person, Atiku, I'm here. I'm not interested in that. If they are not ready to lead, they should get out. As it stands right now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will flog them. Not even winning, he will flog them before 6 o'clock in the morning. I rest my case. Thank you.
Abe, let me just respond to some of the things you said. Please, it's not like going back and forth from you. I agree with some of the things you said. And if you are listening carefully, I said, yes, there's a part that these people need to play. I said that clearly. But the point I make is that aside from those part they're supposed to play, there's also a responsibility. And most times when I listen to it, it's like, oh, you people, who are the you people? You're a Nigerian. You're part of the people who is supposed to work together to see how. It's not blaming. Oh, you people are not doing this. People are not doing this. You're part of the people who are supposed to do something. And I'm saying that irrespective, I agree with you that there's something we obedient are not doing fine now. There's something the articulate are not doing fine. In short, the opposition, let me say the opposition, there are things that we're not doing fine. I agree. But I also want to say, let us not also have this mindset and say, oh, they are the one. We have a part to play. We have a role. And that role that we have to play, irrespective of what those people do, that even most cases where they fail, that we should actually make effort to ginger them. The guy you wanted to talk about it, I think it's Scott Preslab. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing his name very well. Yes, I agree that Trump, continued to say the election was rigged. He had people who were on ground, worked, and even on the election, they had lawyered up everywhere. Those places that he felt that the election where he lawyered up everywhere. So there was no opportunity for some of the things that happened in 2020. Yes, those are the things that he did. But the point I made is this, that when his people were locked up because they came to protest, that none of them were saying, oh, Trump did not come to visit us in prison. Oh, his wife did not come. His children did not come. We fought. Oh, the next election, we are not going because none of them. They also came out. Irrespective of that, they also came out. Yes, Trump did his own part, but the people also did their own part. The point I'm making is this. While we are saying that the leaders should do their own part, let us also know that we have a role to play, that we have a part to play. And somebody say, oh, they are going to benefit. They are not. It's Nigerians. If we have a good government today, Nigerians are going to benefit. It's not only P2P is not going to rule Atiku with his families. He's going to rule with ministers Every other person that's going to be in government is going to be Nigerian. So we have a role to play. While I acknowledge a mindset that yes, a lot of things that the opposition is supposed to do, they are not doing. And when it comes to a do election, when we say the party in power, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not stamp it, Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, I'm going to make sure that this person return. And this person who control police, control army, all of us knows what plays out in Edo. There is nothing, there is little or nothing that there is little the Obaseki would have done in that election. They control, even when they went to court with all the evidence, the court still went against them. So let us not be, giving this kind of, but I'm saying that irrespective of what happens, yes, let the leaders do what they're supposed to do. And let us also pressure them. We'll call them out. Yes, use this platform. Call them out and say, you people are supposed, and you're doing it. But we have a role to play. That's the point I'm making. I'm not saying that everything you said here, about opposition not doing what they're supposed to do. I agree. I agree with you 100% that we should do more, especially for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is going to use every institution of power to make sure he comes back. That we should not treat him with a kid glove. I agree with you, but I'm saying, because I'm not saying it particularly because of you. I'm saying it because of the attitude I've seen in Nigeria, that always say, oh, because this man did not come to protest, he should come and lead protest and not the rest of them. There is always a place for leadership. The person you are fronting, there is place in every campaign. There is also a place for citizens. That's the point I'm making. Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right, thank you. I don't want to hog the mic, but I would love to respond if my co-host would allow me, and the others who are raising their hands would allow me. If not, I would leave it at that, because please, guys, I don't want
Myself,
it to
please
appear that.
respond so that me too, I will be able to respond.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Riverbed say, when we talk about you people, am I not in Nigeria? I'm a Nigerian, and the question here is this: what is it that we can do, or what is it that I can do? I'm hosting a spaces. Nobody's paying me for these spaces right now. We are interacting, so we're having a conversation. At least that's the little I can do. And then, oh, you talk and you're not money. The one that I did last year, both on the presidential and the and the gubernatorial election, that I told some of you guys, when I say you guys, what I think needs to be done, you guys did not do it. So you think I will not get up in the morning and continue to repeat the same thing that I told you guys already? It's very clear, sir. And for those that say, oh, but why don't you join a politician? No, I'm a consultant. Go and read my profile before you come and say, you people, I'm not going to work for anybody for free. It is not done. The ones you do for free, people don't appreciate it, because if for any reason anyone paid for those services, whether you like it or not, or you went back to your DMs and whatever you do, and you call me names, and not yourself, please, most people in your camp, there was all kinds of whatever you guys did against my person, but it doesn't matter. Oh, people should not join his spaces again. Like, I beg anybody, I don't give a toss how many people who join or not join. Oh, people should not respond to him again. He's working for so and so person. So you think I will come out again to say, okay, guys, this is what I think you guys should do? That's why I don't respond to anything for free. If you want me to tell you what I think you need to do, you pay for it. That's simple. They want nothing free. That is very simple. But this idea that, oh, everybody should come and, no, I am not going to be part of those individuals who will come and lie and say, okay, hashtag and all this. I will not do it. I need to get paid for my job. If nobody is willing to pay, I will host spaces and we have conversation. I will rest it there, but I would like to go further. My co-host not kick me out of this platform. Did you have the mic, sir? Thank you.
All right. So this idea that, oh, Trump, when Trump was locked up, is this thing came out. So that's the point. He has already done his bit. He has riled his base up. He has given them that voice. He has put them in a place where, that, like, to the extent that without him, they are still functioning, right? And please, this has nothing to do with any of the. This is all of them. All of them are so docile. They focus on the most mundane things, things that will not push them forward to win the election. And this is the issue. If something as big as this, so mindset, by the way, Bolaji Abdullahi was also on TVC yesterday, actually. And so it was a 20 minutes interview. For almost 15 minutes, what they were talking about was his position in people dragging position with him. The remaining 5 minutes was about, encouraging legislators to have to pass a law that the court will supervise the election of or the choice, the election of is it not even appointment? I apologize. Appointment of INEC chairman. That was the end. That was the end. Like, this particular matter was not brought up, not even once. So, guys, we are losing track. And I agree. If election was to hold today, Tinubu will win. He's already setting up the machineries already, right? And what we are saying is that the leaders need to actually start leading. I'm sorry, real ever best. The followers are not united. We will not be united. Even if you use Twitter as a microcosm of Nigeria, we are not united. We opposition attack each other every day on Twitter. So when exactly are we going to come with one voice to say we want to push for something if the leaders are not actually, we don't see them as united? Thank you. Let's move on.
Prince, you have the mic, sir.
No, sorry. It was actually supposed to be Henry. Henry came up before Prince.
Oh, Henry. Okay, is Henry here?
Yes. Henry,
All
are
right.
you there?
Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, mindset. AG, good morning. Well done to you guys. Mindset. You see, I think if you remember in your previous spaces when you talked about the reality that if election happened today, Tinubu is going to win. I agree with you. I agree with you because I said it previously that if my candidate Obi is not ready, he should get out. That what I did in the last election, I'm not ready to do it again. Because when after I worked my ass out and election was announced, the leader said people should not go out to protest. So you are now telling me that Obi should not do the work. I should be the one to be. In fact, if I'm even telling people to vote Obi now, they will be telling me that under what party. It shows on seriousness. And what scares me more is that the timing, they have a very little time. And they're not maximizing this time. If you see, I was talking with another statesman yesterday, and he was telling me that with what he's seeing, even though he doesn't support the party, there is no way they're not going to win. Because what are the opposition doing about it? They're not doing anything. You look at that. I may not like these people in the opposition, but I look at these people that they have voices. They should be able to, you know, exchange ideas between each other. They should be able to talk to you. You have experience. You have.
All right.
Sorry, Deji. What's going on? Can we pass the mic to some other person
Yeah, I
then? I
think
think
I
Henry
think
is no longer here.
I think Henry dropped. All right. Prince, you can go on. Prince, are you there? I'm sorry, guys. Can you guys hear Prince?
No, I'm not. I'm not able to hear him. I
Okay.
think since he's not responding, can we go to Isaac? Is there
Yeah.
Isaac?
Why is it gone?
Okay, Isaac, please go ahead. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go on.
Yeah. Thank you, Mindset, for the opportunity to speak. I came on because of the Ocean State conversation. And you see, I always tell Deji something. There's something called choice and consequences. There are reactions and reactions. What you see in Ocean State is not Fugazi, it's real life. There are three people battling for the governorship position in Ocean State. Aregbe of the ADC, the Blue Marine guy for APC, and Adeleke. There is an election in 2026, next year. These people are mobilizing and all of them are charging their effort. It is not because of the, what do you call it? The presidential of 2027. There's an election next year. So that is why you can see that surge in Osun State. So it's not about I'm in Osun, I'm here. They will not show you where they are. It is political, and that's why you can see the evidence online. You can see that for other states that are low, you cannot really see much mobilization. And when you see the states that are high, something like Edo State now, they are mobilizing. they are mobilizing. It's not rigging. If you are saying rigging for me, it's just my opinion. I'm not against anybody. If you are leaning to rigging for me is a lazy man's excuse, and it's valid. You can say they will rig it. No, 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 no. You need to spend money. Let's not lie to ourselves. You need to spend money. And that's why mindset, I support you when you say they should consult you. They should consult people because look at the logo of Ada that you guys brought out. Now look at that logo. Come on. We are young people now. Like, look at that logo. Just look at the logo of Ada. Look at the logo of the political parties. Like, there's nothing young. There's nothing thrilling. Like, even just using ordinary Canva to make a logo. Like, I don't think it should be that bad for the opposition to like come together and drop their money to do something. For example, now they just said that Bolaji was on TV for how many minutes? 20 minutes. Go and look at what Wike is doing. Go and look at how many minutes Wike is doing. That's see, these people are spending money on putting themselves out. Even on Twitter, yeah, should I give you examples? Many of the opposition members on Twitter, yeah, some of them is jollof they've used to carry them from you people. Just jollof rice. Some of them they will use that, they'll give them 50k, give them 20k as space host. Those things go a long way. It goes a long way. The person is bought automatically. Like you can't do anything about it. But if we want to say, oh, INEC is doing something, no. Osun State's case is different. Osun State's case is different. And let me tell you why the stake is higher. There is the local government money that is currently on hold. And it could be, I don't know, but it could be, I don't know if they've released, but it could be on hold till after that election. It could be deliberate. And it is anybody who wins that will collect that money at all. So, and it's going to be arrears because, I mean, they've done governance on it already. So it's like free money, like the same thing that happened to Fashola and in during Jonathan's regime that he was giving Obasanjo's money. So the stakes in Osun State is high. Nobody should tell you is rigging, is this, is for 2020. No, there's an election in 2026. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Egbo is like, what about FCT? FCT did 107,000 in the first week of registration. Why do you think so? Was it mobilization as well?
It's because you are not in Nigeria. Ask people in Nigeria what Wike is doing. Can't you see what Ayo Fayoshe's brother is saying? Can't you see you do for me, I do for you? All those 10, he did a launching of different projects for 10 days. Are you not seeing these things? Like, really, no, like, just can't you see that they are really doing some things that they are wooing people, they are talking to people. There is grassroots like mobilization heavily. Nobody will go to even VDM. Your VDM is talking good about Wiki. So they are actually wetting this ground. That's what I just want you to know. Like, don't take it out. They are wetting it. Like, these things you are seeing is because these people are doing something on the ground. That's what I just want us to see. But if we say it's rigging, it's all right.
Like Enugu, Anambra, Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, Taraba, where else? Kano, Katsina, right? They don't have politicians who want to wet ground, who is going to wait for election time. They don't have people who are supposed to be doing mobilization to get people registered. So this is why I disagree. Yes, you are not wrong to say that there are a lot of contending forces in Osun State, but to then suggest that that is the reason why over 30 to 40% of people have shown interest to done their pre-registration, whatever, in the first week. I completely disagree, and this is where the numbers does not match. Like, there were contending forces even before this like in the previous election. We did not see this kind of numbers. So no, there is an anomaly here. But anyway, I don't know. We Either of us can be right or wrong, so it's fine.
All
Mindset,
right.
do you want to say anything?
Thank you very much, Deji, and thank you, Isaac. Deji, I like the way you responded to the Isaac, and thank you, Isaac, for your wonderful submission. Please, Isaac, let me correct one of the things that you said. I didn't ask them to consult me because that would not make it look like for every time I'm criticizing anybody, maybe the spokesperson of Atiku Abubakar, it would appear that I'm doing it because I want him to lose his job, or those in Peter Obi. I never said they should consult me. I said those who are asking me to do what I did right. So I'm not interested in, those kind of thing. But thank you very much for your wonderful submission. Let me quickly read out some of the things that people said here before I pass the mic to the next speaker. Please do bear with me. Rio Babet said, please, mindset. Remind the guy that talked about Oshun to tell us where in Oshun State where the sword is happening. Okay, I will come up to that. And Sweet Angel say, if I think he's not ready to win and fight for 2027, he needs to get lost. I mean, both Atiku, both Peter Obi, both Kwankwaso, both Rufai, whoever is in that opposition, that call themselves opposition, if they are not ready to fight, they should all get out. I'm not singling everybody out, both you Atiku, but every one of them should get out because it shows that they are not ready. But thank you guys. Before I pass the mic to Mr.
Prince.
And Prince. Okay, before I pass the mic to you, then I'll go to Elton John. Elnet and John. Let me quickly, Mr. Isaac, if you don't mind responding to this quickly, sir, if that's okay. What the question that Mr. Real Elderbeth asked, he said, please, can you tell us where in Oshun this surge is happening? If you can, please. Mr. Isaac.
Well, I'm not here to convince him. I just came to give my own opinion. If he thinks he knows the place or he thinks it's a lie, we'll see the result later and we'll be here to judge. I mean, we're just making postulations. I don't have to argue with him. I lived in Lagos State for 30 years, and I don't know where they do their things. I don't know what they do politically, but I know about Osun State because I'm from Osun State. I won't go say, I'm living in Enugu. I know everything. I know this. It's online. We can argue, but I've given my points. If my points don't make sense to you, I think you should tackle my points, and that's the problem of the opposition. Rather than focus on the point and look for a solution, you start asking me where in this, where in that. But like I said, I'm not here to give you that. If you don't agree with me, it's all right. Thank you.
So mindset, you remember when I joined this, but I also said I'm from Osun State and I've always looked at Osun State numbers. They've always been good in terms of mobilization, right? What actually, again, at the start of this, I didn't think there was any issue, honestly. But when I then started looking at the other places, the other states, and the discrepancy, that was what raised my it's just the margin is just too wide, so yeah, I don't get agree with Egmonisa, and like he said, we will see. And guess where we'll see it? On APC's votes. That's where we'll see that this surge. That is where we will see it. And when we see APC having over 1 million votes in Osun State, Egmonisa, that's when you will know that this was actually ballooned by forces beyond our control. Anyway.
All right, thank you
Myself,
very
please,
much.
can I get 1 minute, please? No verse, I beg. I beg. I know this against your policy. I beg.
All right, go ahead.
You see what his reaction. I never insulted him. I only said, just tell us if there is a surge in Osun State and there is mobilization. People, there will be bosses of people. There will be people talking to people. Let us go. It will not happen in isolation. There will be people. That's why I'm in Osun. If there is a surge, like people are being mobilized and not being talked to, and not the rest of them. Ife is one of the places to happen. And I'm saying perhaps it's not in Ife. Can you tell us where so that we can? The point we are making is that this election, the rigging has started, and you're saying you don't believe in rigging. So why would you now, if you don't believe in rigging, why are you now talking? In the last election, in 2015, we know what happened. Jiga, places like Borno, that Boko Haram had actually sacked people, that people are living in IDP. We are having 90% collection of PVC. Meanwhile, places where people are still at peace have not collected. So we see like 91% in Borno, in all those places. But in Ibadan and some of these places that PDP were going to get most of their vote, there were they strategically measured that those people did not collect PVC. Rigging election is not something that happens. It's a strategic means to make sure they stifle the opposition from getting vote, and it has started. That's why if you're saying that it's a fault, there should be evidence for it. It cannot happen in a room. It will happen by people going out to vote. People being talked to, old women being mobilized. That's why I ask you a simple question. Can you tell me, say your promotion, you should have called and asked them, tell me, say, in Oshobo, in Ilesha, this is what is happening. Somebody can go down and verify. The point we are making is that these people are bloating the number and you don't want to accept it, and you say we are attacking you. I'm not attacking you. I just ask you a simple question. Can you
All right.
tell us where this surge is happening?
So I have an announcement, please. Mindset. I'm not sure if you can see Health is Wealth as a speaker. If not, Health is Wealth, please kindly drop and come back to the space. There's one more extra space that me from my own phone, I can see is available, but the space is not allowing me bring anybody up. So Health is Wealth. If you can hear me, if you still want to speak, fine. But if not, please drop and come back, and then we can accept you again. Yeah, thank you, mindset.
Thank you very much. This space is getting interesting right now. Rivervet and Mr. Isaac for your both wonderful Please, let's be very mindful of time because we have Mr. Nathan John, Haruna, Nigerian Prince, and every other person who would like to be part of the conversation. And I do not want what happened last time to happen. And I'm going to leave this space and people will be offended. Prince, you have the mic, sir. Good morning once again, sir.
Yep. Good morning, mindset. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Glory be to God. Thank you so much, mindset. So, good morning, fellow Nigerians, and greetings to everybody.
Sorry, Prince.
According
Mindset.
to
I
where
was
you're
trying to
expressing
send you a
from.
DM, but I can't. How can I do that? Prince, please go on.
Okay. So, thank you. Mindset is like your space is. I mean, it really represents the name of your handle, mindset. It's a place where you come, and I must say that automatically you have to have a different mindset when listening to the conversation, and it's very very good for our society today. You see, there are a lot of things that you say that some people might not like it. uh, my fellow comrades from my own side of the camp, they might not like it, but to be very honest with us, these are hard truths. Well, I could remember those days when mindset normally call it hard talk. I be hard talk, yeah. So these are hard truths, and this is something that many people, a lot of some Nigerians, maybe some of us have been saying, but probably I would say they don't have the balls to come and say it publicly. So for example, when you said when people started paying for some services or some free stuff they are getting, that's when they will start to value it. This is not just from mindset. So let's not have problem with that. And for me, I totally agree with him. Back to uh, they already started rigging that we are seeing, and back to let me also react to some other things. Really about best, since I believe me and you we followed MAGA movement very well and the U.S. election. I think I will also agree with mindset, right? Because my mindset have changed. Honestly speaking, it has changed. MAGA did not have ID card. MAGA didn't have ID card. So I think we as opposition, we have a lot of things to do. Not the ID card that will vote on election day. And moreover, self, the ID card, never, it's not a successful project. So I think we need a lot to do, not to be shouting. We need to go back to our grassroots, do things, a lot of things. I will also agree with mindset that if election should happen today like this, as we are sitting here, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win the election. Nigeria election, let's be honest, is not by the hunger, the economies, the economic of the country, and whatsoever. But let's be honest. If it is by economy and the hunger in the land, Buhari wouldn't have won his second term. Buhari for no win second term election because that was where the hunger started in a way that Nigerians have never seen before. But yet still, he still win the second term election. So what makes you think that if the opposition is not well prepared and not well ready, that Bola, whether you want to disagree that it's a political strategist, we are not celebrating Bola Ahmed Tinubu with the kind of personality we know he is, but when it comes to grabbing power and being desperate for it, whatever name you want to give it, I mean, he is good at it. He's good at it, and that is politics also. That's politics. Then back to the main topic, 2027. You see, let's be very honest with ourselves. If oppositions are really serious, if we are really serious, I think no one is really talking about the already started rigging that have started. And it's very clear that Bola wants to use Southwest to win election come 2027. I've been saying this, but people seem not to understand. I'm in Lagos, right? People seem not to understand. And it really makes more sense if he uses Southwest. Now, why? Because it will look as if it's a tribal stuff, but no, they might want to make it look as if it's its own block. After all, the last election, someone won the whole block of Southeast. So they will use it as, yes, he won Southwest, and Southwest is his loyalist and all that. But we are not saying this. How would you tell me that Abia State, that Abia people is saying that Alex Otti is doing very well, and Alex Otti, who is also ready for 2027, will now ready, like, is not knowing the purpose, or is not aware that there are new voters coming up, new voters. There are people that have turned 18 years this year. They are supposed to have registered, and you have only 700 and something registered voters. Back to Imo State, even though say opposition don't want to do anything, I believe that Hope, the hopeless Hope, would have still want to add more numbers to register and get more votes. But then you have, like, I think 400 and something in Imo State. Anambra, we've not even seen Anambra. I wouldn't agree. We have, because what we saw there is FCT. So, but it's so sad that the opposition is being so quiet. Let's be honest also. While I know that the Nigerian people are the one really facing what is happening in the country to some extent, but these candidates are the ones seeking for the job. It's like you going to apply for a job. You want the owner of the company to still be the one fighting all the way. But Nigeria case is different. While the citizens are also speaking out, the oppositions also have to speak out. Donald Trump did not sleep after last election. He didn't sleep. Oh. Let's be honest. But they are like Deji have said, someone went to Arise TV. Or maybe I did not even listen to, I did not watch. He was there saying something else. Nigeria economy, Nigeria election, who cares about the economy? Who cares about the hardship if people are eating? And let me even tell us here, come 2026, closer to election, we will start to see this country working. We will start to see market women fund coming out. We will start to see prices of things coming down. And if oppositions are not ready, mobilizing their people, speaking out when INEC have started, now they have tested them, they see they don't rig it, they don't start rigging. Oppositions are very quiet, they are sleeping. Then 2027, when they finalize it, you want people to go on the street. Please, my fellow Nigerians or fellow citizen opposition, please, we have a lot to do. And where our principals are not getting it right, we have to call them out. They have to sort of okay. They have to speak out. This INEC rigging that have started now, everyone is sleeping. Tell me now, is that not a test from the ruling party camp? They are sleeping. They don't even know what is happening. This is a rigging that have started. There is no how you can mobilize, sir. Someone is saying mobilize for Osun State. Which mobilization? Is it not the Lagos I am also? I know I'm opposition. I know we are not doing much in terms of sensitizing people to go and vote or to go and register. We are not doing that much. How come about these numbers coming up? Or do you think that the opposition will be the ones sensitizing the new voters that are really suffering from the hardship of their governance? Let's be honest. This is a pure daylight rigging starting, but oppositions are sleeping. Many of us, ordinary citizens, we are also still sleeping. Tomorrow now, instead of that, we are the one reposting it, sharing the fake INEC, whatsoever they have been put out there, celebrating it. But I hope that 2027, nobody will come and say some of us should go out and protest. And I know some Nigerians on ground really know how Nigeria politics works. But maybe to some of our people in abroad, they might not really have knowledge. Please, when that time comes, maybe some of them will come back Nigeria and come and lead the protest. This is me being honest. But I desire a new Nigeria, and I'm working hardly for it, and I will always do it. But please and please, Let us go back to our grassroots and get the real job done. MAGA did not sleep. MAGA was not all these things we are doing, honestly. So I totally agree with mindset. I totally agree with mindset. I know this might not go well with some of us, but funny enough and sadly enough, no one is feeding each other here. Like we always claim, no one is paying each other. We need to tell ourselves the truth. Thank you so much. Ireo,
All right.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
I mean,
Thank you, Prince. Guys, please, there are quite a few requests. I would crave your indulgence to, try to keep it short so that, everyone gets a chance to speak. Mindset, do you want to say anything?
All right, I think thank you very much, Deji, and thank you to Prince. Please, not everybody should agree with me. If you disagree with me, that's what this platform is all about. And I like the fact that people will come up and disagree with me, and we can all learn from one another. But thank you guys for the wonderful submission from each and every one of us who has contributed. Guys, I've got a meeting by 1 o'clock, so like my co-hosts have said, Deji. So by 1, we should be rounding up. So we barely have about 2 hours. I think the next speaker will be Nathan John, but I want to see if Mr. Nathan would allow us to Mr. Anna Anderson to speak before him, because we do not really have a lot of ladies who have spoken on this platform. Mr. John, would that be okay with you, sir?
Okay, yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. So, Anna Anderson, I think I'm getting the right name right. Good morning.
Yeah, you get. Good morning. Good morning, mindset. My name is Hannah Anderson. I'm joining this conversation from Akwa Ibom State. Well, from everything you have said, we should not just focus more on the Osun State. Now, from what you've been saying, you said the APC is going to win the election, which is not, I can't argue that, because the APC has gone as far as, strategizing their people into key places. So now what has the opposition done? Nothing. It's just to come and start ringing bells without no backing up with actions. As of yesterday, I woke up to see myself in one platform that had over 700 and something people. What were they doing? They are trying to mobilize people. They are trying to get people to get their PVCs, encouraging people to get their PVCs done. But now, it's not about having these PVCs. It's not about having these PVCs and at the end of the day, you're not out. In as much as we know that rigging is rigging is something we cannot take out, but the apes are working. They are working silently, but there is effect to their work. Am I supporting APC? No. Am I against any other political party? No. But what I'm trying to say in essence here is that if other political parties are putting energy the way the APCs are doing, I think we would have a more profitable result. We will not just be here talking. And let me tell you this. Most of the people that are here talking come out. They will tell you it doesn't concern them. I could remember vividly 2023 election. I was working. I walked in and I knew what my eyes saw. I knew things that were done, which I don't even need to come here and say it. I don't need to come to this space to say it. But the thing is, what are the opposition doing? Are they just there talking, or are they backing up with actions? Because the APC on their own now, Akwa Ibom State is now is now an APC state. In the south, we have some other states that are now APC states, has been converted to APC states. So what are the opposition doing? So my take here is we shouldn't just come to this space and just say things, we just finish saying it and go back to lie down. What are you doing in your own space? Who are you mobilizing? Who are you talking out? Who are you encouraging? What are we doing in our little space? In my own space, I've tried to at least encourage other people, please go and do your PVCs. Do your PVC, that is your right. Do your PVC, because a time will come that this PVC will become monetized. You will need to pay. Before now, NIN wasn't something you have to pay, but now you are paying to do your NIN. So what we all have to do is to go out, get our PVCs, and not just talk about getting the PVCs. Come out and vote. Come out and say things. Come out and vote who you want to. And at the end of the day, if what you vote for is not what you're seeing, we could always go to court. Please, that's my time. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Anderson, for your wonderful submission. It was a pleasure listening to you. But let me quickly react to some of the things you said. At least I know 2 or 3 or 4 individuals on this platform who speak and they have done what they needed to do. One individual, I'm not sure why he dropped. Where's Riverbest? This man, I've not met him before, but 2023 election, if there's an individual that I can raise my hand and say this individual did well and continue to, he mobilized. I disagree with him in a lot of things, but if you know me very well, I'm an individual who will always say what I think and my truth, right? Real Best, was out there mobilizing, making sure that he did everything he can do, rallying and everything. Even after that, he was one individual who was following his principal, Mr. Peter Obitu. He was following the whole court process at the Supreme Court. He was, yes. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, let's just remember that there are people who are not only here to talk, but they have done what they need to do. And Ray Babes is one of those individuals. People talk and people still get the job done. But thank you very much, Ms. Anderson, for your wonderful submission. Unfortunately, guys, I've lost my co-host. So let me pass the mic to Mr. John. Elnet and John, you have the mic. Good morning, sir.
Hi, morning. This has been an interesting conversation. It's interesting and it's sad also because I think that Nigerians, especially for people in a country that is so rotten, I mean, to its core, they have no business splitting into this imaginary opposition and APC because in fact, the facts tell us that this is not a real opposition. And I just wanted to step back a little to explain what I mean. So, you see, Nigerians, at least in the recent past, have not truly fought for democracy as a collective. Instead, they have too often, capitulated to those who have captured the state. They have adapted themselves to the dictates of the ruling elite. And they're playing the game exactly how it was designed. Here we are talking about INEC rigging or not rigging, about Osun State, about the chances of Bola Tinubu winning. But all this conversation shows me is that, as it has always been, time and again, ordinary citizens have deferred to the, divisive narratives of ethnicity, region, religion. And these narratives have been carefully crafted by the elite to keep the populace fragmented, often to its own detriment. Think of when the military finally exited power in 1998, 99. It was not because Nigerians had sort of risen in unison and expelled the military. It was not a revolution from below. The military left because they decided it was time to leave. It was, as far as I'm concerned, in essence, a withdrawal on their own terms, a calculated repositioning rather than a defeat. And what followed was not some kind of triumph of popular will, but an arrangement of elite consensus. Generals and politicians sat together, struck deals, and produced the Obasanjo, not out of some overwhelming clamor from the masses, but as a choice of those who held reins of power. Now, that pattern has remained the default mode of Nigerians' political life. When Yaradua ascended, it was not because citizens demanded him, it was because the PDP's inner circle decreed it. When death made Goodluck Jonathan president, he was not the result of some, you know, deliberate popular sovereignty, but he was an accidental president elevated by circumstance. When Jonathan's usefulness expired, the same elite who despised Muhammadu Buhari rallied behind him, not out of love, but out of expediency. When that machinery of consensus, compromise, and backroom deals produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we saw again and again the arc of succession bent not to the will of the people but to the calculations of the elite. And it's the same conversation we keep having here. Nigerians have gone too long with this arrangement. Instead of rejecting the framework in its entirety, we are accepting stories that have been fed to us. The endless debates of North versus South, Muslim versus Christian, Yoruba versus Igbo versus Hausa. And instead of demanding a democracy that delivers, instead of demanding politicians who fear and respect citizens. We have traded it for these hollow quarrels over identity. The South is the turn of the South. Meanwhile, Nigeria has no hospitals, no roads, insecurity. And most importantly, INEC rigs elections and nothing of substance happens. What the reason is because the elite know the formula. They know they do not need to silence the entire nation. They just need to divide it. They need to pay a few people to shout loudly. And it's for me such a disgrace that anybody in today's Nigeria will stand up and say, I am pro APC, I'm supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Like, it's a thing you should be ashamed to say, right? And now, once divided, Nigerians turn on each other. We invest hours, days, years in insults over ethnicity or religion, while hospitals rot, schools collapse, roads are killing us, power grids are failing, and politicians are looting without shame. And just to sort of round up, I just want to say that, this story is not uniquely Nigerian. History is full of nations where the elite manipulated divisions to extend their rule. If you think of Eastern Europe, for example, where communist regimes lasted for decades by encouraging fear, passivity, it came to a head in 1989 when ordinary citizens, tired of this manipulation, took to the streets all across in Prague, in Berlin, in Bucharest, and they toppled governments in weeks. In Tunisia, the act of a single fruit seller sparked a chain reaction that elite consensus could not control. In Sudan in 2019, ordinary citizens forced generals to retreat through persistence in the streets. So Nigeria is not immune to this logic of history. But for now, what I see, even from these conversations we're having, is that we're caught in the trap, divided by narratives of identity, distracted by quarrels that only profit the ruling class. And just my final note is about Peter Obi. Even this Peter Obi, who at one point appeared to emerge from some sort of genuine clamor for change, riding a wave of youthful enthusiasm, social media mobilization, the rhetoric of a new Nigeria, and so on and so forth, has now bent to the same elite consensus logic. He was hailed as a departure from the past, a politician who spoke the language of accountability and prudence, and so on and so forth. Now it has become clear that Obi himself has had to navigate these entrenched structures of power that outsiders cannot bypass. Today, is he not seen sitting, negotiating with, courting the very figures he once condemned as architects of Nigeria's dysfunction? From Atiku to Nasser El-Rufai, Peter Obi himself has crossed into the same inner circles, whose track record he often uses as examples of why the system is broken. And this shift is not accidental. It is that inevitable collision between idealism and the hard machinery of Nigerian politics. Obi has witnessed firsthand how power truly works, that elections are not won by popular enthusiasm, but by networks of influence, by backroom agreements, by access to money and machinery. Peter Obi has understood that he cannot advance without the blessing or at least the tolerance of those same elites. And so, in seeking their support, he dilutes the same promise of difference on which his movement was built. What once looked like a challenge to elite consensus that produced a win for him in places like Lagos now appears to be another accommodation of this elite consensus. And it has stripped away the illusion. Obi is no longer distinct from those he opposed. He's for me, in the final analysis, Obi is playing the same game, governed by the same rules, bending to the same consistent, consensus that has always produced Nigerian leaders. So, but when in fact Nigerians decide that they are truly tired, when they exhaust their patience with this manipulation. They will not wait for permission from generals. They will not wait for permission from party chieftains. They will not wait for permission from Peter Obi. They will not defer to elite consensus. They will act. And when that time comes, it will not be orchestrated from above. We will not be asking, has Atiku said something? Has Obi said something? What will happen will be an eruption from below, organic, unplanned, and unstoppable. In the same way we saw in Eastern Europe, in the same way we saw in Tunisia, in the same way we saw in Sudan. Today, Nigerians are not ready. Thank you, Mindset.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nathan John, for your submission. Please, guys, those who are requesting for the mic, unfortunately, my co-host is no longer here, so he was doing a great job. I don't know what's happened. Hopefully, he would come back and help to bring you up. So, let me quickly react to some of the things that Mr. John said. I'm looking at it from a political point of view. I mean, that's the only thing I enjoyed. I love politics anyway. So, I do not have a problem politically. Immorally, people might see it as a problem if a politician wants to hang out with people. For me, to find a way to get to power. I do not have a problem with that because with the little I know about politics is actually, there's no permanent enemy, right? Now, for those who would argue this, the Secretary of State in the United States, I mean, everybody have looked at the United States as a free world and everything. I think Marco Rubio, somebody please help me if I'm getting it wrong, was once, he called Donald Trump all kinds of names and, I mean, they're working together, right? He's saying that, these policies will work because the right person is there. But this is the same individual prior to that election that he called all kinds of names. So if it was for Mr. Peter Obi to work with other people and he will be in control, personally, that's my personal view. I do not see anything wrong in it, right? Politicians will be politicians and they will find a way to work with people they want to work with. Mr. Nelson, Mr. John, you raise your hand quickly, sir.
Yeah, I just want to quickly respond to that. I mean, the example you use is correct, but only within that context. You are talking about a US that has institutions, a US that has a functional, at least for now, a functional democracy, a US that has institutions of state that many times functions outside the direct control of politicians. Now we're talking about a Nigeria where there is nothing that's working, absolutely nothing. And so we are not in the same place as the US. I'm not sure that example quite tracks. Because in fact, what Nigeria needs is not just another succession of democracy. It is a systemic overhaul. It's the kind of thing that Peter Obi preached, that we need to dismantle this thing from the ground up. And I completely respect your opinion, by the way, but I'm just saying that we are in dire straits and we cannot behave as if we're just another country. That's my sort of gentle response.
All right, thank you very much. I mean, I do respect your opinion as well, but personally, I'm looking at it from political, lens. This is the way I see politics, and I know politician with politician. And then you making reference that we are not there yet to be countries like America. We are not there yet. But if it means that somebody will come in and try to, help us to get there, but he needs other people's help. Personally, I do not see a problem, but thank you very much, Mr. John, for your wonderful submission. Those joining us, we are discussing the INEC numbers that just came out and then everything around it. So please, let's stick to that as I pass the mic. So I think, I don't know this name. It's quite a very interesting name, but I'm not able to pronounce it. It's called the Dicola. Does that make sense to anybody? Is it?
Yeah, you make sense. It's dear caller.
Good
All
morning,
right,
sir.
thank
I
you,
do
mindset.
apologize. I do
No, it's
apologize.
okay. I think you know my other what's it called undo number. Okay. Good morning, now mindset. Thank you. First, let me start on the lighter note. I think we should start a group. I don't think it should be a political party of the Nigeria that don't have interest in today's politics. That we don't want to support any political party, but I think we should still support individuals because I think there's still few politicians, very few that are for the interest of ordinary Nigerians. But apart from that, yeah, I think maybe we should just have a group whereby we laugh at supporters, like you said. And thank you. I think I'm going to put myself up for consultation as well. I'll be a consultant going forward. The reason why I say that because I've been of the opinion since the first few months of President Tinubu that he will win again. And I actually want that to happen because maybe the opposition will learn a very good lesson. Because if there's any weapon that's fashioned against Nigeria, I think it's the opposition because you can see the anyhowness they're going about. I mean, they're not even in Ghana. It's this opposition. This is not opposition. Yeah, and the latest excuse, which is the topic of the day, about the PVC and what have you. Failure, we always give every reason to fail. Because I mean, you have to be a failure to want to fail. Um, I think there was a gubernatorial. No, I think there's what do you call it? What do you call it? There was election that happens. Was it senatorial election that happened in Ibadan, your state? And the seat was an APC seat, and PDP took that seat. So if anybody is using the excuse of they're going to rig election, you to go and rig it. You have a PDP state, you have a LP state in maybe Abia. Let's see the doings. Let's see 1 billion votes from Abia. Because look, at this level, I don't think we should complain about someone is rigging election anymore. If you cannot come with evidence, you cannot come with trust me, bro. No, we don't want to hear that. Some of us are tired of you willing. If you or if you think they're going to rig that election, just look. The best thing to do, just be like us, be like me. You say you don't have interest, so that you can show it to the whole world. Call the opposition together. Say you're not going to contest in the election, because me, I'm tired of you saying you will win. Maybe you will send maybe a back man to the Green Chamber or to Senate, or one guy that you picked up on the streets. They will win election. They won. They get to the Senate or they get to the lower house and they start doing the bidding of the ruling party. But you're too. I don't even want to be abusive because there's no point. You're not talking about them. You're not talking about the member of your political party that you sent to be a lawmaker, and they're now singing on the mandate. You never open a space about that. Your leaders have never talked about those ones. But you want us, you want to blackmail ordinary Nigerians. The things that the election has been rigged. The one that was rigged for you, because you think every election was rigged. The one that was rigged for you, what do you do with it? What do you do with it? The one that you voted for, are they not in the ruling party today? Did they oppose any bills? Did they oppose any loans? Did they oppose any contract? Did they oppose any any PP? Look, we Nigerians have to start fighting ourselves for these politicians. We need to stop by now and start to let them do their job. Your politicians, go and politic, go and take power. Tell us what you want to do, how you're going to do it. Mindset, Deji, I actually came for Deji because have you seen any politician saying, you know what, vote for me? Not only I'm not going to take my salary because I'm rich, but I'm going to use my salary 6 months, for 6 months to start maybe um 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 school, to build a um healthcare center, to be. No, these people are not serious. They're not. They just want to fool us. So I think Tinubu is going to win. I've been saying that for the past 2 years. I think he's going to win. It's not because of the opposition or anything, or just because of the individuals in the opposition. Because in every country that you go, even that young democracy of yesterday, Gambia, that we have to restore their democracy. If you go there, they have a vibrant, they have a intellectual oppositions. Just go and listen to the news. We're talking about Gambia of 2000 and was it 18 or 19? 2019. Look at the opposition and come to Nigeria. It's winning, complaining. There's no, even you that you're watching the news, you can see points that the opposition was supposed to use. So if you think they want to rig elections, there's a better way to expose them. Don't contest the election with them. Then you will be able to show to the whole world that the reason why you're not you're not opposing them, maybe in their state, maybe at the at the presidential election is because you don't trust them. Then your state as well, then you can show us that, oh, look at your state is better than their state, and you conduct elections and you let opposition have a free and fair elections. Then we can use that to campaign against them maybe after 2031. But if you're going to complain about, look at the number of the votes. They said about 300 and something thousand PVC are still in Osun State. They haven't collected. So the story is not just a concluded one that someone can come here and tell us that um, they have evidence that they cannot show us that the election is going to be rigged. I think the opposition don't have what it takes to win election, because if you can win by election in your state against the ruling party, where they send the minister and the minister was in Oyo State, the Senator Aki Alabi was there. Every one of them was there. They even brought Pasuma. They still lost. They lost election. So don't come here with all these braha and come and tell us that they're rigging election against you. To go and rig. Thank you, mindset.
All right. Thank you very much. Please help me if I correct me if I pronounce your name the wrong way, Mr. Deakola, for your. I mean, for me to make life. Let me
Yes,
call
dear
you
caller,
Kola.
you're right now, dear caller.
Okay, dear caller. Thank you for your response, your submission. For those requesting for the mic, I'm communicating with my co-host, Mr. Deji. We're trying to see if we can, return back to the spaces. Then he would actually help to bring you guys up. So, caller, in as much as I agree with some of the things you've said, though, if you look at that number from Osun State and then you look at a place like Kano State, it doesn't make sense. Right. And then I've had this argument that the reason those numbers were there, because there's an election coming up in Osun State next year. And then there's an individual who spoke and he made reference that there, some senators are out there trying to mobilize, which I think is it's a good thing that they're doing. But that alone is still mind blowing with 393,000 under 7 days. It is actually, if if we're going to be honest to ourselves, we just gotta say, okay, guy, hold on a minute. Something is not adding up here. Right? And you look at a place like Kano State, Katsina State, Kaduna State, all together, they have only 82,000 states that you will want to believe that they have the number. So we just got to balance this out. There is something not right with that figure, right? Yes, the opposition need to wake up from that slumber, but there is absolutely something not right. And you know that I know that that we can all agree that that number is what it should be. Please, guys, those on the speaker section, somebody need to help out too. Seriously, because in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes, we should be out of here. Anybody can see Deji, the guy that was hosting before. If you can see him, do raise your hand.
Deji's here. Deji's here. I can see Deji. I don't know if he's here, but I can see.
All right, thank you very much.
So let me just say
No,
something.
please, let me land, please. Sorry, I do apologize. Let me land. I wanted to help yourself and every other person. Dark caller, have you blocked anybody on the platform on Spaces? How many? Sorry, in general, you've blocked a lot of people, right?
No, I'm not gonna call. Sorry, I don't want to, because it was just only one person
I
that
need to
returned the
help me
favor
bring the
because
1
I can
minute.
see that.
No, 1 minute, sir. Let me. You didn't allow me to finish, sir. We are all here to work together, aren't we? So what I was going to ask you, since you can see Deji, what I wanted you to do for me is, if I make you a co-host, bring Deji up, then you can drop. Well, are you able to do that, sir? If not, that's okay. I will continue with this.
Yeah, I can do that. So just to keep the space going, I can do that.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So Mr. Diakola is going to be a co-host. He's going to help bring Deji up. Then we'll probably have to drop him back. But you wanted to respond to what I said. Please go ahead quickly so I can pass the mic to Haruna.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I want to respond to what you said in the light. I want to respond to what you said. Thank you. I want to respond to what you said in the light of Osun State is just like a Nigeria, because I think the Adeleke family will still win. Okay, let me bring Deji. The Adeleke family, I think the Adeleke family will probably still win Osun State again, and that's the honest truth. Because so if there's anything like in irregularity in Osun State, that will be done by PDP. So and this is what I'm saying, right? So let's say we have let's say we have oppositions or the coalition in other states. the only thing they can do now is they should do what they think others are doing. Because remember the saying when they say if you cannot beat them, they used to say join them, but now they say if you cannot beat them, arrange for them to be beaten. So you're not just gonna sit back and know someone is rigging your elections, thank you, and you're just sitting back and you're not doing nothing. We're just gonna come on the internet and just cry every day of every market day. Yes, no. Look, we don't. Democracy is not going to be perfect overnight. So you have to arrange for them to be beaten. So maybe when you have enough senator, enough House of Rep, then maybe you can even use that to impeach the president. You don't have to win the presidential election to be president. So just go for the senator. Just go and do your grand grassroots mobilizations and use that to gain power and do any means necessary to rescue this nation so that at least people are not going to say there's a problem with our DNA. We cannot just be complaining. We complain too much. Let's do whatever we can do to rescue the black race. Let's do something. The democracy is about the solution to this. I mean, we're not praying for a dictator anymore. Democracy is about the best of evil known to mankind. So whatever we're going to do, it's not perfect anywhere. Not in America, not in the United Kingdom. Maybe some European country can say maybe they have something that's close to, but they're still complaining. But we have this process to make sure that we govern this country called Nigeria. Whether we want to govern it or whoever wants to govern it, we have to help them to do it. Thank you, Manse.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kola, for your submission. I just wanted to address this because some people might have joined the spaces and heard you talk about beating, right? So when he makes reference to beating, he's not saying physical beating. He's talking about beating somebody in an election in the sense that winning against the person. I hope that's what you're making reference to because I'm very, very mindful of the choice of word that one uses on this platform. And, it's left for Nigerians, and I believe that the opposition would listen to you, even as much as you're not part of them. But they will listen and see what they can make out of what you've said. I'm pleased to say we have Deji as a co-host, so he has done a lot. Great job by bringing this person up. Haruna, please go ahead, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, myself, and good morning to everyone on the space this morning. Well, wonderful discussion going on, but to simplify and in a very good perspective, you see, most of us don't want to agree with the truth, the stark reality facing us, and we don't learn from history, and we don't like to go back and learn and re-strategize. What am I trying to say? We've seen elections come and go. Let's just take one example now, like what Decola was saying, that get reps, get senate. How many members do Labour Party now have within the Senate and reps still with the Labour Party by virtue with Obi? You see, the electioneering process or the selection process of our candidates even is faulty even within the opposition. That is even if we assume that we have an opposition. We run a politics in Nigeria not based on any ideology but based on the movement and flow and so on and so forth. Like for example, who would believe that Farouk Ademali will come out on TV stations directly insulting Buhari one way or the other? And who will believe now with a lot of governors now shifting to the APC? What does that show us? Our selection process negate the principles that we believe in selecting our candidates. We just flow with the moment. There's no ideology. There's no sincerity of purpose. Although I personally believe that there's no any politician in Nigeria that will come and stand before me today and tell me that he has the interest of Nigeria. That is why he's contesting or he's doing this or that. We all know it's a personal thing, except if we just want to deceive ourselves. But even with that, even after saying that, at least we can have some decorum of at least trying to stick to what we believe in or whatever political party we fall under. But it's just all about what I'll get. Corruption has eaten so deep. We've never seen political corruption even so grave like what we're seeing now with the ABC government being inducing people, challenging people, harassing people, and so on and so forth. But people should stand their grounds. What are they doing now? Does the opposition even exist? I think it just exists on our lips. Because what are they doing? Nothing. No galvanizing, nothing, virtually nothing. They are not coherent. They are not, they just come out on X spaces, TV stations, make noise, and then go back to their cocoon. Nothing is being planned. Myself, like you rightly said, not even today, even in the next 1 month, if there's going to be an election, Tinubu will floor them badly, because they don't even know what they're doing, no strategy, nothing, meetings without they're not working their talk. For how long has the ADC been formed now? What's the impact of ADC being felt anywhere? A lot of people now do not know, even in the rural areas, they do not know that the ADC even is in an existence, is existing. So we just keep on rambling and making noise and just being not trying to conform with reality. People don't see things as they are. Is it that we're allowing our emotion to becloud our judgment? I think so, because people are allowing their emotions to like just take control over them instead of us to sit down, face the issue squarely, look at things, devise means solution. Now registration is going on political parties all over. Which opposition party is mobilizing its so-called voters to go and even register, woo them onto their side? Nothing. I doubt if there's any political party now that can give you an updated database of their members. The ADC that is coming on board up to date, they are still planning how they are going to enforce their or roll out their membership drive. If by now they can't do that, when are they going to do that? And when are they going to even analyze the data of their members to know where their weaknesses are due to their membership drive? It's not something that you just do in a month or 2 months. But sadly, they are just bunch of coy fools here, I would say, that they don't know even what they are doing. It will take a very good strategy, very good political mobilization, very, 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 very self-driven opposition drive that we don't have now to make things work out. The man said, let me just, we've been talking about this now, we'll keep on talking about it. But the truth is that,
All right. Thank you very much. I hope he's finished already, right? Did I interject when he was speaking? I don't want to do that. I thought he stopped. Sorry, am I still audible?
yeah,
Hello?
you are, my friend. You are very.
Yes, you are mine. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Haruna. I saw this statement by your principal, in as much as you said you're kind of neutral, saying that he's not leaving an MPP and he's actually he's open to negotiation. That I will host a space on that, but let me speak on this. I've got a message talking about those who spoke about what INEC has done, and somebody make reference to the former governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, putting out a tweet. I mean, that's not good enough for me, right? In Imo State, the numbers in Imo State is not something to put on a tweet. 481. Now, Emeka, for all I know, will be, he would like to contest again in 2027 or 2028 to become the governor of Imo State. One would have thought that looking at this number, he's from the Owerri zone, right? Should go back home, do whatever it takes you have to do. Go to that zone and mobilize for people to get everything. 481 is not enough for you to defeat APC in Imo State, right? For him to defeat APC, he's a part of the ADC. But I'm just saying it for those who are very close to him. This will be my very little advice. If he really care about standing a chance of winning an election, he should find a way to his village, to his zone. I mean, Imo State, in general, and do whatever he needs to do legally to get people out there to vote. But putting out a tweet is not enough. in my own view. Let me quickly pass the mic to, I think, who else do we have? Adebayo, right? Adebayo, you have the mic, sir. Mr. Adebayo, good
Yeah,
morning.
good morning, mindset. At this point, almost everything I want to say have been taken out of my mind by the other speakers, and I really appreciate all the speakers so far. Yeah, so maybe I should just pass. Let me pass. Let me allow other people to speak. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you very much for being helpful. Adebayo, before you pass, you're from Oyo State, so let me quickly give you the numbers from Oyo State. If you can tell us if you agree with that number. Oyo State, we have 669, 66915, 669. No, 66,951. I do apologize. Sorry. That was very embarrassing. I'm like an INEC official now. 66,000, almost 67,000. Do you agree with that number, Mr. Adebayo? Do you believe that 66,000 individuals from your state in 1 week went out to register? Do you believe that?
For me, it's not a matter of either for me to agree or not. Anything, we're just looking at 1 week, and it's not, the registration has not even ended. So I mean, for me, I want to keep my tab on all these developments so that at the end of the day, we want to see, because you never can tell. Some people, a lot of people are doing online. It's not everybody that have to go to the local government and do the registration. So it's more, the number is very little, but let's see what the remaining period for the registration will take. Even as I speak, my wife in Lagos, she has not been able to do her registration. So we never can tell, anything can still change before the deadline. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Deji, who else do we have? Is Deji still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think Patrick Global, Patrickson Official. Sorry if I'm messing up your name. Can you hear me, please? Patrick, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay.
So
And
I
if
think
You
the
are
Patrick
first.
is not
audible.
there, okay, thank you. If Patrick is not there, then off fine can go. Off fine. Or female. Oh God. Sorry, please forgive me. Please unmute your mic.
All right, good morning, Mindset. Good morning, DG, El Nitan, and quite a number of people.
Yeah, how do you pronounce your name?
It's correct. You pronounced it correctly at the end when you said Ufime.
Okay.
All right, good morning. My name is Ufime Peter Innocent. So I just want to quickly, take this in a, from a different angle. And I think that's where the source of our problem as Nigeria has been for quite a long while. And is the fact that democracy was not fashioned for a group of people. Was fashioned based on the assumption that everyone who's participating in the electoral process is sane. Like, it believes everyone who is going to be participating in the voting process are, quite intelligent to a level of extent. They can think rationally and all of that and make, the right decision. That's basically how democracy was fashioned. If you check how it was, came about in the early days, as in Greek and Athens and all of that. They initially didn't allow women and children to vote or participate in those decision-making processes. They just allowed men to make those basic decisions. So generally, it was just fashioned based off of the idea that people who were going to be participating in the process were seen. And it's a very big it's a very big problem, because when you think of this and you know that a place like Nigeria, right? Now, not to downplay on the level of intellectual, pool that we have in Nigeria, but it's to tell you that no matter how you try to put it, I can't remember the title of the book now. There was a book I was reading recently that was talking about how exactly, no matter how you try to do it on planet Earth, you definitely have more foolish people than more wise people. You have more people who are, on the lower, you have more people with lower IQ than those with high IQ. I think recently Chris Williamson was saying on his podcast that we have lesser people with more intelligence compared to what you were having 10, 20 years before now. And it's courtesy of, certain factors that we know not about. So just to bring it to context, so we are aware, I know that the problem we're facing is not even It's not even a whether or not INEC calls the number of gives us the accurate numbers or not, whether or not we who are on this space right now decides to go out and vote or not. The people who are even going to make the major decisions are not even on this space. They most likely do not even have access to internet and all of that. So, and one very funny thing is that the Matthew effect is one of the things that is definitely playing out in the long run. How that, to him who has more will be given, and to him who has little be given. I love when Mr. Elnathan was talking about how that he said Peter Obi was taking a particular angle where we believed he was following the youth now receive, he's here to bring the change and all of that. And all of a sudden, we're seeing that, he is now beginning to form alliances with people who we did not want in power. And I love how Mindset himself addressed that issue where he said, eventually, no matter how you try to put it, you would have to do things in a certain way to achieve whatever goal you are aiming at. And the funny thing about politics, right? I might not have as much experience as I should because I'm still a very young individual. Maybe I say I'm young. I think I am young, courtesy of the number of people, the perhaps the age grade of people we have in here. It is funny because um the way Peter Obi is moving right now is that he's trying to find a way to get himself to power. And we are hoping that he still has the same mindset that made us follow him and became obedient and all of that up until this point. And the alliances are making it look as if it's a different thing. And I just want to throw this out there before I finally drop the mic. Eventually, in politics, you would have to play the game eventually. And no matter how you try to put it, it is politics. You cannot come into politics and try to abide by rules and think you're going to get where you're going to. It is what I just said earlier on, that the Matthew effect. Those who have more will be given. Those who have eventually cut corners and then they're already at the top, it's going to be very difficult to get rid of an incumbent. Not incumbent in terms of presidency, but incumbent in terms of power status and a level of influence that they've actually garnered over time. And the funny thing is that the more these people are garnering influence, the more they are getting access to most of these places of power and all of that, the easier it is for them to control the class that is responsible for fashioning or giving us the results that we usually get in the election. In fact, I am forced to believe in a way that as much as we are thinking elections are rigged, they might not be as rigged as we think they are. It is just a function of the quality of individuals we have in the country. If you should plot a graph of, the logical reasonability of the individuals you have in Nigeria, you are going to be amazed sincerely. So I just thought to put that out there and let us know that first of all, you should understand that what we are having is a foundational problem, a problem of the fact that it would have been better off. Forgive me, I might be wrong, but I most definitely am not. If we were not even running this whole democratical system, not to say that we should be running a military system, but to say that you most likely would have been doing better if we're running based off on a monarchy system. I'm not one to say, oh, bring back military and all of that, but just to let you know and put it out there that the idea of democracy was not fashioned for a community like Nigeria, especially with the way we are very diverse and all of that. You're going to get a lot of things that will influence, selection. We are more emotional than we think. Religion will influence it. Culture and we influence it. Personal relationships and all of that would influence it. And if you're trying to say it does not influence your own decision, that's the first sign that you're biased. Thinking that you're not biased is the first sign that you're biased. So I just want us to put this at the back of our mind and just throw it out there and just state as my little contribution. Thank you very much, Mindset, for the opportunity to speak, and thank you to everyone who is contributing to what is being said in here. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter, for Mr. Innocent, for your wonderful submission. I mean, everybody has a right to their opinion. It's up to us to agree with it or we disagree with it. I do not think that democracy will not work in Nigeria. I think I'm going to take a cue from what Mr. Nathan said earlier on. It's all about, I'm paraphrasing, it's all about our mindset. If collectively we want democracy to work, democracy will work. Now, you said you're a young person, maybe talking about 1993. I do not want you to tell us what age you are. But if you go back to 1993, it was not a perfect election, but that I do not, it's one of the best that we have ever had in this country. Now, why is that? Because the NEC, it wasn't INEC then, it was NEC, right? Then was seen to be neutral, right? Professor Humphrey Wonsu and those that worked with him, they were there just to do a job in as much as they were fighting against the military. Okay, it was a difficult thing for them at the time. They were asked not to conduct the election, but him and his team, the people around him, um, said, "Listen, we have been given the mandate to conduct this election, and we're going to do what we need to do." And some people will disagree, but I want to state it here clearly. Personally, I want to say that 1993 election was the freest and fairest election we have ever had in Nigeria. Please, anybody can disagree with me. I mean, it was a Muslim ticket. Abiola was a Muslim ticket. Him and King Gibe, right? Abiola is from the west. King Gibe is from the northeast. But then you have Tofa, who is from Kano State, and his vice, then the person he was running with was from Imo State, if I'm right. Yes, it's from Imo State. Now, but at the same time, Abiola flogged them everywhere because Nigerians then we're not looking at this tribal thing because we want to make it look like, oh, it's not going to work. We have tried it before. It has worked. The problem we had is everything changed in 2015. That was when everything in Nigeria changed. So, the idea that the Muslim cannot lead Nigeria because Christians will feel offended about it. In 1993, Nigerians voted the Muslim ticket was a different thing there. And the neck then was, the head of the neck was an Igbo man fighting against the military. They asked him not to call out the results. He was telling them, "That's no way I'm not going to call out this result." David Mark, that is part of the ADC right now, was part of the individual, was like, "You're not going to announce these results." And they're saying, I think it was Taraba, somebody who is very good. And next time you probably would know this. I think the Taraba was the last result they wanted to announce, right? Somebody help me out. Because when I'm talking about this, and I know a lot of individuals are on this platform who will want to quote me, say you don't know what you're talking about, please. I think it was Taraba that we're asking for, So what am I trying to say? Democracy will work and can work in Nigeria. What we need is an unbiased umpire, like the likes of Humphrey was not what we have with Maurice Iwu in 2007, where results were written, the PDP road results, and then announced that Yaradua have won the election. That was not an election. That was, I think, I'm not sure if 2007 and 2023, both of them are in the same bracket for me. So democracy can work in Nigeria. What we need is the right institution, the right people to say, we are willing to do the right thing, like the likes of Humphrey Nwosu, who stood his ground. Yes, the election was annulled, but we make reference to it. But thank you very much. Let me not go into history, please. I'm bore you guys with this. But thank you, Mr. Peter, for your wonderful submission. Deji, my very close friend, co-host, please, sir. Who do we have next, sir?
You shall know the truth.
And the truth shall set us free, right?
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Truth, you have the mic. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, mine says good afternoon from here, or good morning from here. I don't know if you even know the time, because what I'm getting for your platform is putting me off balance. To be candid, please accept my greetings. Deji, I hail you. Thank you. And I do well. I appreciate. Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you, but there is a noise in the background.
I'm outside anyway. The breeze is blowing where I'm sitting.
All right. You shall know the truth. I just dropped you. Your background is too bad. Please find a very quiet place and request again. Thank you. There's so much background noise behind you. Babek. I hope you don't mind I did that mindset. All right.
Okay, I would have. That's okay. I would have thought I would let him know that not that we're dropping him and telling him that we're dropping. It would have been better to ask him to find a better place than drop by himself, because sometimes you probably might not take it to heart. Himself might take it to heart. But thank you for explaining to him that you dropped him as well.
Yeah,
that was very kind of you to do that. I think we have Mr. Allen next, right?
Yeah, Alien next. Yeah.
Then sorry, I do apologize for butchering your name. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Mindset, and good morning, DG, our honorable co-host for today. Uh, I have seen the numbers from INEC, and When I saw it, I first laughed. I saw Lagos, I saw Oshun, I saw some other states. It was the handwriting was very, very clear that if we proceed like this, Tinubu will win overwhelmingly. In fact, it will be a landslide victory come 2027 if it moves like this. And I have seen a lot of, I think I've been listening to this space and what mindset and I think DG have been saying is that the opposition are not really serious enough. I do not feel that is the problem. And I have said it on several spaces, but I don't know, people do not agree with me on this. I have said it that the coalition is the best way to go, and you must pick a leader on time for the coalition. If you are still dragging your feet, playing saying, oh, we need to build a party, we need to do this, we need to do that, we are going to wait till last minute. It is last minute we will now pick who will lead the coalition. It is last minute we will now know who should be the leader of the opposition. Tinubu will keep on gaining grounds upon grounds. As we are speaking now, he has now approved lifetime salaries for senior officers. Go to the same Osun state that we are talking of. Go and see how mobilization is happening over there. Yes, there are some hanky panky there, but there is mobilization going on the ground. I can tag my friend Deji or maybe Mindset to videos. You see where Governor Adeleke was recently, a recent video where he dashed somebody selling puff puff, thousands of naira from nowhere. Mobilization is going on ground, but we are docile in the opposition because we do not have an arrowhead. I have said it times without number. These people need to sit down and say, this is the person we are going with. Anybody that does not agree with it, please go and leave the coalition. Let us see the people who are serious minded, who are ready to do this job. As long as we keep on dragging our feet, there will be no proper coordination on ground. I'm hearing people saying they don't want to spend money. They don't want to spend money. Should I spend money on something that I am not sure of getting the ticket in? So for me, I believe that it is because we have not gotten an arrowhead. That is why we are playing te, te, te. We are just going up and down, dancing left, right, center. It seems like the coalition is not ready. If you can give us somebody who we believe in, I am telling you, we will outrun this APC back to back. Without, if you can just provide somebody who the people believe in and say this is the person that we want against this APC, all this nonsense you are saying will go down. But as long as we keep on dragging our feet, the party needs to do constitution, the party needs to do ideology, the party needs to do this, the party needs to do that. In fact, we're even hearing that some people are now decamping from ADC, a new party, back to PDP now, again, and everything. So, as long as all of these things are there, I see Tinubu winning back to back. I was in Osun State. I know what I saw on ground. I went to Ede, where Adeleke is from. I saw the road. I saw every single thing there. Yes, there are some hanky panky INEC is playing, but mobilization for elections is on ground, hot, hot, hot. and opposition is doing nothing as we speak currently. I yield the mic so that I don't hold the mic too long. Thank you, Mindset and Digi. Thank you.
All right, Deji, please go ahead. You raised your hand. I think you would
Yeah,
like to respond to him.
yeah. So I wanted to ask Alien X that if the coalition is basically you joining all of them together, right? But at least we know for a fact that some of these leaders are not even in ADC at the moment. So where they are right now in their own respective parties or respective areas of influence, what have they done really? Have they done anything? If we can say, okay, coalition, this nobody believes in the coalition. Coalition have not chosen the leader. Okay, in their separate areas of influence, what numbers did they turn out with this thing? Why is Obi's followers not going to go and register? Why is Article's followers or the places we know Article to be strong in? Why is the registration on in the first week, by the way? Why is it not high? Elenex.
Okay, thank you. I think you are trying to refer to the by-elections, if I got you correctly,
Oh,
and you
no,
are
no. I'm
asking.
not referring to, I'm referring to this pre-registration move, right?
Okay,
In INEC. I'm asking, why is it that, because what you say that the reason why some parts are having these high numbers of registrants is because the governors are mobilizing and because the coalition has not chosen a leader and people are not basically aligned yet. So I'm asking, in their own, since they are not aligned, like in their own respective areas of influence, why is their supporters not going out to register? At least they know that my oga gets this area and I hold them down. So why are we not seeing the numbers showing in those areas?
okay. Like I said, if you listen to me very well, I said there is hanky panky from INEC, no doubt, no doubt. But also there is indecision that is not really motivating the people, that is not motivating their support base. I don't know how to put it, I don't know how to explain this thing properly to you. Yes, there's hanky panky. INEC knows it, everybody knows it, that there's hanky panky left, right, and center. We know that INEC is trying to push some figures in some very key places that Tinubu is likely to win, no doubt. But there is no, how will I put it now? Because people are not seeing their leaders making big moves, big steps. People are not really putting in a lot of effort into this PVC mobilization something. Big, the way we vote in Nigeria, we vote from sentiment. We vote based on who is on that ballot. We vote on who we see as the arrowhead. When those arrowheads are not making moves, people will not move. Like, a lot of people are not moving. For example, I can tell you that a lot of obedience are really pulling their legs in terms of PVC drive and everything, because there is no real big move from Peter Obi, for example, to say you people go and do this PVC vote. You people should go out and do this, go and do that. And unfortunately, this is how we think in Nigeria. So, yes, I agree with you that there is a lot of what do you call it, hanky panky from INEC, but our leaders, the leaders are not still very, very. I don't know how to put it. I hope you understand, but let me just allow other people talk. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. X, and thank you, Deji, for your follow-up question. Now, Mr. X, your argument is that the opposition needs to do whatever they need to do to bring out somebody who will be the arrowhead, who will be the leader. Then it would then help um, their followers to then decide, if they are to mobilize and do other things. But let me give you an example. Let's go to Imo State. Deji, you have Imo State number. Sorry, I said number. The registration number of those in Imo State. Can you kindly, sir, read the number out? If you do not have it, I can read it out.
Okay, so for, you can hear me, right? So for Imo
Yes.
State, Imo State right now is Imo State registration first week is 481 people. That's
Thank you. All right, 481 people. Now, there is somebody from Imo State who wants to be the governor of Imo State. That's Mr. Emeka Ihedioha. All right? And he's part of the ADC. Nothing stops Emeka Ihedioha to go back to Imo State, start mobilizing. He doesn't have to wait for Peter Obi. He doesn't need signal from Peter Obi. He doesn't need signal from Atiku Abubakar because personally, he's not contesting to be the president. So he is, from the little I know, is contesting to be the governor in 2028. Nobody's stopping him. I hope you understand where I'm coming from, sir. So the idea that they have to all come together and have an arrowhead, I see the point there, but because of the time, you don't have enough time, guys. You don't have enough time. It's 16, is it 17 months to the election, Deji? And then these things have been done everywhere. Imo State 481, Osun State 393,000. And then we are still waiting for the ADC to come up with an arrowhead. One has to be honest about these things. Sometimes it irritates a lot of people in the way and manner things are done on this platform. But as I've always said, I will respect you. What I will not do is to follow a clout. You know what I mean by clout? You just want to do something to please people, and you know that's not the right thing. As it stands right now, the ADC, the Labour Party, the NMPP, the PDP, none of them they can challenge Bola Ahmed, but nothing. Else something will happen in the next 1 minute or 2 minutes. But as it stands right now, we are speaking, they haven't shown anything. Deji, please go ahead. As before we pass the mic to you, shall know the truth.
Yeah, I was gonna also add that if the idea is to wait till they choose a leader, something that will not even happen until sometime next year, say maybe mid next year or first quarter next year, then that means you are leaving it late. That means your base who are supposed to come out for you in the election will start struggling to get their PVC. All of them will now start doing scatter approach to go and be queuing up to collect PVC. Okay. You shall know this truth, please God.
All right, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, it's much better. Go
on. Thank you so much. Yes, mindset I agree to very well, and the way your position and your position, Deji, it cannot be disputed or trying to wave with a wave of hand. That is not necessary. Whatever you said here is 100% correct. To be candid, it's 100% correct, and you are playing your own role. And if this voice is so loud like this, other that are in the offline supposed to do something. That's why I'm saying why my own understanding of all these things of this INEC, I have already zero my mind what INEC can offer Nigeria. It is only for us to shout or to make noise for Nigeria to hear the voices, not that miracle can happen in INEC tomorrow. They become Angel Michael or become Angel Gabriel or become an angel of light. That can our Eldorado is what you're enjoying from INEC. It can never happen. Even if Obi go to wherever I want to be with CNN and raise voices, he cannot do Shimbai. They have already sold their souls to a reprobate mind. Nothing. Hence, money is concerned. They have sold out, no matter how you look at it. But they need to say, let's say something anyways. Let's hear your voice. Let us see you raising voice on this particular issue of a whole of the 5 geopolitical zones didn't meet up to a zone. It didn't even meet up to ordinary a zone. It didn't even meet up a zone. And a zone in the village and many places on this southeast. I don't understand. Even like they are set of all people, or is it a number of all people, or Imo State is all people, which is my state. I know how many villages that I can count that are very primitive, if I might say so. But upon that, 200, 400, 700, lesser than 1,000. and they say it's all is well. All is not well. And I thank God that it's coming in earlier stage. So whoever that are going to this battle, to whom it may concern, we know the battle you are going to do is a battle have already been written. If you want to beat it up, plan your own in order to meet up of to make sure that everything will come in a crystal clear to the whole world to see. That earlier on, this is what I said earlier on. Now, see, it's coming to play. But keeping it on the it can never move. It's a collective of whoever that is concerned. Because we are in Lagos, I saw even some local government, one of the APC rep, House of Rep here at Assembly, is mobilizing people to be registering people. So whenever they are, if they are not making move in their own locality and ensure that their locality people registered that have turned 18 years as of today and continue to sensitizing, by December, another set of people will become 18 years and above. On before the end of their exercise, many will turn 18 years. It's a continuous exercise. But if it shock anybody that INEC brought such a thing and they can give us a correct figure, nothing can surprise me, whatever INEC is, whether Mahmoud or whoever that's coming after Mahmoud, nothing can change. Because the big man that is there is number one. Hey, I don't know what word I will use to be offensive here, but we know what you are saying. So nothing. Devil can never offer you a good gift and you see that it will last for you for the rest of your life. You are going to pay for it dearly. This is what Nigeria is facing. But in the other way around on the back channel, and I must give it to Obedient that I am following on our WhatsApp. We are mobilizing and registering state by state in our platform, state by state. We are getting figures. So we know what INEC can dish out. We know what they are getting. So let them continue to dish out like they are fake. When the time reach, all of us will see what is happening. But to the few or majority of obedience, we are working in our inner house on our own because this is concerning my life. Since this person entered this thing, I am and family, we are suffering. Obi and his family is not suffering. So I cannot allow Obi to tell me what to do in order to save myself. Atiku is in Dubai. He's not suffering like me that in Lagos is suffering. So how will I allow Obi to tell me what to do or what to react? In my own little way where we are standing, we will protect our own vicinity. If another people is doing it in their own unity like that, I believe something will happen. But say that I will wait for Obi to come and tell me, or wait until come and tell me, or a first person come and tell me. Hence, they have their own personal interest, whatever they are doing. Hence, have whatever they are achieving for. Even the coalition cannot even stand and make a point. And razzle this government called APC. They're not doing it. Yes, the system is against them, or if they talk, you will disappear because disappearing is part of APC life. Your life is number one before Nigeria. Nobody can get your life now. Forget your life and protect Nigeria. It doesn't happen. So their life is simply protecting their own life to see the tomorrow. So nobody is going to die for Nigeria for this. But we, obedient and believing, whenever we are saying obedient, please make it some obedient, not all. Because we here in Lagos and other places of state of Nigeria, we are working tirelessly and reaching people in our own small places. We are doing it and people are registering out of conviction and persuading them to do it. Some people don't want even to do at all. They say they're not going to do. It can never happen. There are some people who have decided that no matter how you do, they will not do it. But let INEC dish out their own figures. But we that are working on the ground, when time reach, all of us will know. So I'm not depending on what Obi will tell me because he will do his own part. But it is very necessary for them to act. Even 2% of what the APC did in 2009, 2015, and 2014. Even 0.5%, let them just do it. They have a lot of materials to work on. But PDP here fighting their leadership, zoning here, and the coalition is here. I'm not going to step down for anybody. Is it what you are trying to get? Who is forcing you not to step down for anybody? When the time reach, we will understand how you're going to play. But for now, secure your base. Make a point. Start on the ground. Ensure that this thing is we and you. too much afraid, too much of they are trying to play what is not necessary. It's very, very discouraging. But we that is here we cannot be discouraged on our own side. Many Nigerians have been discouraged for what they are saying and what is coming up. And APC is happy about that. That's why they will give you advice what to do. The advice they are giving you, are they sincere in giving that kind of advice? It's mocking you. They're giving you advice, but they are mocking you, but you don't know. So it's high time coalition put their hands together and ensure they speak to things that happen in Nigeria. Go to the TV and be speaking every now and then. When they arrest you today, arrest the other person. Nigeria will know that this is against opposition. So Nigeria will take a stand to meet my concern. But when we castigate obedience, please ensure that it means some obedience, not obedience as a whole, because a lot of us is working in our various places and every unit, and we're getting results. So that's where I want to drop my listing. But so far, so good. Mindset, thank you so much. Be hitting it hard in their heart. As it's paining them, it will be paining them. I know what to say, pay me the way it's coming up, the hard or not, and it's a wake-up call. So I like it. Whoever is against it, please think about, are you doing enough? Are you talking enough? And are you doing enough? That's and you are trying for them to do enough. You don't even like they have the situation in Nigeria, but you're making sure that do enough so that Nigerians will have a better Nigeria tomorrow. That is what you're crying. That's what you're shouting. Then they hate you on that. It's up to them. If they like love you on that, it's up to them. Thank you so much, and God bless you. We work for better Nigeria comes tomorrow. Thanks, and God bless.
All right, thank you. You shall know the truth. I was just gonna say on a lighter note that when you get to your next meeting, please ask the Osun State obedience what they did differently that has caused that numbers to mobilize that way. Maybe everyone from other places needs some hints, and also mindset to ask that this particular these particular figures we are seeing for this first week, I personally think it's even contrasts in significantly to how we are as Nigerians. Nigerians are not so fast to do these things. They literally beg people to go and do NIN. Like, we like last minute things. So to see that in the first week, this sort of thing, this sort of numbers are coming out from some certain states, I'm wondering, that mobilization must be really, really strong mindset.
We state, thank you, Deji, and thank you, you shall know the truth. We state you make a reference to, because if you look at a state like Ebony State, I think you can, please, because you'll be doing a lot tonight, this afternoon. If you look at a state like Ebony State, that have only 200 and something people in the whole of the state, that's not something to be joyful about. I hope you understand where I'm coming from, sir. Now, if you look at a state like Kano State that is doing 10,000, that is not something to be happy with, right? If we're looking at it that people are mobilizing, but on a serious note, let me quickly respond to, you shall know the truth. You raise your hand, sir. Is it very important that you have to speak? Because I wanted to respond to some of the things that you said, sir.
Yes, I want to say about Ebonyi State. For you to see
please check
that
he
trust you. That is the state of the governor, the minister of that browsing the Igbo to declare that in 2027 all Igbos should go to their house and sleep. That in 2037, 2035, they should come outside. By then, they will give them presidency, and it will be David Umahi. David Umahi is not from that state. It's from his state now, the former governor of Ebonyi State. And among the 5 states, his own state is the least. So tell me now, does it mean that it's not showing concern that your own state want to give Ahmed Tinubu on 2027, that you're having almost 0% to give him? It's not a concern to him. So it's a laughing stock. They are deceiving themselves. That's how coming that Ebonyi State is robbed on the face of David Umahi, claiming to be the Igbo president in 2035. So let him come and defend it like that. Thank you very much. That's what I want to say.
Thank you very much for your submission. So let me start from your last submission. Now you talked about if the opposition leaders were to go to CNN and other network, that will not make a difference. Respectfully, I disagree with you, and I will tell you why I disagree with you. You probably might not know of this, but I would like you to do a research on it, and hopefully the next time we're on Spaces, you can, reach out and tell me that what I said was not correct or it's not factual. Now, yourself and every other person that raised your voices during the election of 2023, the world had you. But I will tell you what happened. There was nobody from the opposition then who was ready to spend their money to take it to the international community. Whatever you were doing, they know about it. They were following yourself and every other person. But the moment APC, understood that this is what is going on, what they did was on the 11th of April, they sent Lai Mohammed, Ajuru Ngeleli, and what's his name again? Was it Minister for Aviation? Somebody help me out, please. This is old age. What's the name of the Minister for Aviation? Deji? Hello? Am I speaking to myself? Hello?
Festus Keyamo.
Oh, Festus Keyamo. Thank you very much, Mr. Adebayo. Thank you for helping us. So, and some of the other individuals, they all traveled and they went to America. They met with the media, leaders of the media in America, Voice of America, AP, and the rest of them. And Lai Mohammed told them they shouldn't listen to people like yourself, that the election was not rigged. And questions were asked. So if the elections were not rigged, what happened to the beavers? And Lai Mohammed's response to that question was that there was an attack on the beavers, and that was what happened. Because so for some reason they bought it. I mean, this is what we call lobbying in PR, right? You have to lobby somebody. Now, put yourself in that position. If somebody like Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and everybody was first to reach out to these people, maybe there might be a difference. So this mindset, this idea that the international community don't care about it, you have to show leadership. You need to show that you want this team more than them, right? They're not going to be your president. They have their own president. That is what APC did. They sent Lai Mohammed. Please, sir, you shall know the truth. Go and do a research on this. Now, they didn't stop there. They went back to Chatham House. They traveled to the UK. The same thing. They met with the media houses in the UK, and they told them that the opposition are crying foul. They shouldn't listen to people on the social media. What they're saying is that the election, these people did not get out to 24% in their states and everything. Where was Atiku Abubakar? Where was Peter Obi? That's why you didn't hear it. And when people argue about the role of PR, and there are people who are jack of all trades, master of none, and hence you don't see me get involved in anything I don't know anything about. I will just stay by the side and maybe read about it and move on. I know nothing about politics, but the little I know, I will share with you guys. So the idea that going to CNN or going to this will not make a difference, you have to do your job. Do it at least. Let the people hear you. Whatever happens, at least you can go back and pat yourself at the back and say, I've done my best. It's not going to bring Clems or Hameze, who left Nollywood 10, 15 years ago, that's not even relevant in Nollywood, with respect, and interview him on TikTok, and you're saying that's how you're going to fight Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You guys need to be realistic about it. If you're not serious, get out. Please, sir, not to you, Mr. You shall know the truth, but I want you to go and do a research on this. You want to be president, you don't want to spend money, you have a bunch of people who do not understand this thing around you, and then you think it's going to work. APC claimed they won the election. Bola Tinubu, INEC have announced the winner of the election. Why would then APC, who won the election based on INEC, why would there be the people that travel to go and tell the world that they won the election? Haven't that told you anything? It should have been those who believe that the election we are rigged against them. They should have been the ones traveling, not the ones that said they won the election. So why would Lai Mohammed travel to America and tell them, we won the election? Why would you do that? Because there was a vacuum there. That is my reality. But let me not bore you guys with this story because it appears I keep repeating it. But whenever someone said things about media, it really, really hit me because I know what these guys did. And APC is very good when it comes to media. You won an election. You went to tell the world that you won an election. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. Because someone like You Shall Know the Truth is calling them out and saying, no, this election was rigged. Because someone like You Shall Know the Truth is saying to the world, INEC turn up the beavers. Because someone like You Shall Know the Truth is telling them in River State, Peter Obi won River State. Someone like You Shall Know the Truth is telling them this election has been rigged. And APC were so concerned. They said, no, we cannot allow this to lie. Where was Peter Obi? Where was Atiku Abubakar? They were nowhere to be found. So please, You Shall Know the Truth. Go and do your research on this. On this note, I do not think we have another speaker. Deji, do you have any other thing to add? Because I've got a meeting coming up and I would leave it at this if there's any other person that have anything to add. But my point here is you guys have to be very, very serious about this if you want to stand a chance of, having this election. But if you think you're going to focus on likes and retweet and asking Croc, or Croc, is it Croc? I'm butchering that name. Did you help me out? Hello? Is it Croc, right?
Grok.
Of course. You see, I don't even know the name of the thing. Right? Okay, does it have a different name as well? So you keep asking him question who will win the election. He will look at the algorithm and he will come up with numbers, and you're happy, you're clapping, you're jumping up and down, and you think you just have to leave Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that way. You have some chances of winning an election, which is not a lot, maybe 5%, 2%, or whatever percentage you have, but you must work hard. And this idea that people is coming to help you to do it, I am not interested in helping anybody. I'm not charity. Anybody who wants to go and help out should go and help out. It's a good thing to help out. It's a good thing to become part of the charity. I will not be part of any charity. All right. Thank you, guys. I think we've Deji, please go ahead as we round up. We don't have any more speakers, do we?
Yeah, I think we have one more achiever.
Sorry, I do apologize. Please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you very much, my site and Deji. Well, the little contribution I just want to add to the conversation this morning is this. I think one of the major problems we have in Nigeria these days, especially as far as this electionary process is concerned, is that the way a lot of us are saying that, okay, Tinubu has to go. By every means, he has to go. But you see, most of these politicians, those aspirants now, I don't think they are saying it like that. Okay, Tinubu has to go, but it has to be me chasing him away. Tinubu has to go, it has to be the North chasing him away. Tinubu has to go, it has to be the South chasing him away. So all these things are causing a kind of problems that is not actually helping the opposition in such a way that all hands should be on deck to make sure this man is chased away. Okay, just like somebody was analyzing, Osun State was having about 400,000 voters. If you look at the literacy rate in Nigeria, I think the Southeast has the highest, which means to a large extent, these people are able to go to the internet, do this pre-registration of a thing and everything. But you're telling me they have about 1,900, while Osun State is having almost 400,000. That is not possible. And I expect the opposition by now to have summoned INEC to court, give us the bad log of these beavers. Let's see for real how this thing actually happened. Did people really registered online from where to where, which offices? How did they do it? Let's come out with the figures and let those figures be verified, forensically verified. But all the opposition are just sitting and folding their hands and looking for, I am obedient, fine. But I don't think, I also need good governance, right? But I need these people to come together so that the whole country will know, okay, this is where we are going. And if they think, oh, it has to be me, they should get the fuck out, because I'm getting tired already. Honestly speaking, I'm getting tired. They say the patient's dog eats the fattest bone. A lie. The patient dog, when the patients become too much, you no go see anything chop. So it's getting tiring and everything is getting out of hand. So the frustration, everybody is getting frustrated already. So that is just my little contribution I want to add. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Diakiba. Please, next time, let's be very mindful of the words we use when we use foul language on open spaces. It's not really um, advisable to use such words, but I just couldn't stop you then because I wanted you to finish your thought. Guys, it's been a very interesting conversation and a very big thank you to my co-hosts who have made things a little bit easier for myself. Deji, thank you very much for what you've done today in bringing a lot of people up to be part of the conversation. A great contribution from Health is Wealth, Mr. Adebayo, Achieva, and every other. What is our good friend? You shall know the truth. Quite a very interesting name. I mean, this is what conversation should be all about. Yes, some of the things that myself and every other speaker might have said this afternoon, you might not be comfortable with it. But if you have an open heart, look at it, take the ones you think will work for you, the rest of them throw them in the trash. And if you think from this platform is not for you, just put them in the trash and move on. But I must commend everybody that has contributed. Before I round up, I would like my co-host to speak. If he has any final thought, then we can round up. Thank you.
Guys, please, we just, like everyone has said, and I hope you don't get me wrong. Definitely, we as regular citizen, I mean, we are doing the best we can. Mindset is here, hosting spaces. Everyone is speaking, adding their voices. I just hold the opinion that if these leaders who have a bigger platform, who, like, even if they cough, TV stations will carry it. If they are not concerned about this, then there's only so much we can do, right? So the earlier the better for them. And in fact, in mindset, in the comment section, or I think it was Achiever, sorry, Real Ever Best that was talking about Nigerians benefiting, that if we have good governance, that it is Nigerians that I totally disagree, because as far as I'm concerned, the president has more to benefit from being the president than me being a citizen. So therefore, if they, that's PO and Atiku and any other person who is interested in becoming president, if they actually need this, if they really want to be president, then it is best they start now, to start putting these guys on their toes. INEC, APC, all these guys are so comfortable doing what they are doing in broad daylight with so much audacity, but opposition is just, I don't know, wasting their time on issues that don't matter. So yeah, I really hope to see what is going to come out, because think about it. If the first week is this way, it can only go up, right? Because obviously you cannot tell me that everybody that is interested in registering for PVC would come out in the first week, knowing our culture as a country. So I strongly believe that these numbers will start rising. Our register is about to cross 100 million people on the register. It's like, going by this precedence, this trend, it's definitely going to cross 100. In fact, I think we might end up settling around 120 million. This next election will be very interesting. Mindset. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deji, for your wonderful submission. And I must commend you. You're one individual that I've seen recently. Whenever I'm logged in, I see that you're hosting spaces. Continue to do that. Sometimes people do not understand what it takes. It's quite a very difficult job, but you're doing a great job. Continue to host spaces. It might be difficult. People might not like your position, but you just got to try your best. To make sure you carry everybody along. The thing about life, as you can see on this platform, you see some different faces every day. The ones I started with in 2021, and some of them are no longer here. And those who joined in 2022, some of them are no longer here. The only thing you owe yourself is the truth, right? As long as you're able to tell yourself the truth, everything works better for you as a human, right? The first law of nature itself. As long as you carry everybody along, don't make it that this is my friend or this is not my friend. Just carry everybody along. Give people equal opportunity to air their view. Life will become a little bit easier because you know that you're not taking side. But for me, my position. Whatever has been said against me, it's not a problem. I always say to you guys, nobody should go out there and fight for me. Let people insult me. Let them call me names. As long as it's not done on the platform, I'm okay with it because I hear about it, but I don't see it, right? But if anyone think for any reason, name callings or anything will make me come out and tell you that Peter Obi will win the election tomorrow, you're living in la la land. If you think I'm going to change and tell you Atiku will win tomorrow, it's not going to happen, right? As long as or if you think I'm going to tell you that the opposition, the ADC will come together to, coming together will make them win Bola Tinubu. I'm not going to change from the little truth I know. If there's an election tomorrow,